I'm here, man. I'm happy to be here, dude. Today's a great April 8th. We got a lot on the docket to talk about today. You know, the Carolina thing. I know a little bit about that. I'm not a basketball guy, but I do know a little bit, just a tiny bit. I've seen a couple of highlights on the TikTok and, a couple of draft vids and stuff like that. There's a lot to talk about. I'm really excited about. And the mock draft, of course. I'm always.
And we're going to do a mock. Yeah, Wolfie segued into it. It wasn't a good weekend for the Carolinas. We were down here anticipating some national championship fervor by either the great Don Staley and the crew or the Duke Blue Devils or both. But Wolfie, it ain't go right. Sometimes it go left.
Weren't you guys like somewhat favored? What was your guys' rank was like a 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, Duke was supposed to pull that thing off. They had probably, the best college basketball player, Flag, man. He's really good, but you got to play 60 minutes, or not 60 minutes in this case. What is it? 48 minutes in college basketball, and Don Staley and the crew, man. I don't know what happened. That young lady up at UConn, Miss Fudd. Her name was Azee Fudd. She just won't having it. it just wasn't your day. Matter of fact, let me pull up the docket here, and
Wow.
and I'll say congratulations to the UConn ladies, Azee Fudd and them. They won national champs. Gino Oriema. This is their 12th one, I believe. And hey, you got to go ahead and give it to them. They came ready, and we won't. And it happens. Congratulations, University of Florida. They beat the Duke Blue Devils. You got to play 60 minutes. Well, they actually beat last night the Houston Cougars for the national championship. But before that, they beat my Duke Blue Devils. Or I ain't gonna say my Wolfie. I'm down here in Carolina. Most of the people either you like UNC or Duke. And a lot of those UNC fans, they got two teams. They root for UNC and whoever is playing Duke. They can't stand Duke. But I just felt a kinship, as a Virginian man. I just kind of like the Carolina teams, as far as basketball is concerned. And I'm probably going to lean a little bit like that in football because we got Bill Belichick, who's come to Chapel Hill now.
That's right.
They've already called it Chapel Bill. Chapel.
They would.
We are looking forward to the great Bill Belichick. But yeah, man, hats off to University of Florida and UConn. They did their thing. So we go back, and let's look at the docket today. We talked about UConn ladies and the Florida men, and now we're going to talk about the projected draft choices there, Wolf Dog. Hey, Wolfie, I was on 49ers web, man, and they did like a consensus of different mock draft platforms to include PFF, CBS, and one called 33rd Team.
That's like a secondary to PFF. They like the main crew of the PFF crew. They kind of did like their own side project. It's called the 33rd Team. So that's what you have a little bit of credit.
You've checked them out sometimes?
They are crazy sometimes with their takes, man. Like they have some wild trade. Like sometimes on Instagram, you'll see like a wild trade proposal. They'll have like a graph of it, and it's just like, CMC, how about 2 third-round draft picks from the Dallas Cowboys for CMC? And you're just like, what?
What?
No, we're not doing that. They have some crazy trade ideas. Like DK Metcalf was like a 5th and 6th rounder for DK Metcalf. There was some wild trade stuff. Like that I've known them for. But every now and again, I'll see a TikTok of them like, talking or whatever, and it's the crew from PFF. So I think they have a side project that they also are working on.
Okay, so it's an offshoot of PFF.
Yes, pretty much. So like they have like somewhat credibility if you like PFF a little bit. It's that same main crew just trying to start their own thing because PFF is owned by that one announcer that we don't like. A lot of people don't like the who's the Patrick Mahomes Glazer? Guy, that dude, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, what the one that's on Fox?
He's usually on Sunday Night Football, I think.
Oh, Chris Collinsworth?
I believe, yeah, Chris Collinsworth. Yeah, he owns PFF.
Oh man, I got a great Chris Collinsworth. Yeah, he's just Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes just best quarterback ever's been, and you gotta realize
that was little Mahomie.
Mahomie. Did you see how he called that play? It was absolutely awesome. He looked at the coach looked at him, and he just called the play just so effortlessly. You got to love Patrick Mahomes. Greatest quarterback you ever seen. I just can't stand Chris. I don't like none of them old Bengals from today, man, because Boomer Esiason too. I don't like any of them old Bengals, man. They just get on my nerves. We used to beat them bad.
Yeah, in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, yeah. We used to own them. We used to own them.
Yeah, we used to own them pretty good. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So are you just going through the doc right now, or you still want to talk about the other stuff?
Well, let's talk about what they projected, and I'm sharing the screen now. They had what they're talking about, Scatterbo getting drafted by the 49ers, and that was something to consider. They said in the 49ers web zone, the San Francisco 49ers may use one of their 11 picks in the 2025 NFL draft to bolster their backfield. Christian McCaffrey, while healthy now, missed 13 games in the last season due to injuries. Meanwhile, Jordan Mason, who finished as the team's leading rusher, was traded to Minnesota. That leaves veteran Patrick Taylor and second-year back Isaac Guerrero behind McCaffrey on the depth chart. It wouldn't be surprising to see the San Francisco 49ers add another running back in a few weeks. And then they toss around the names a little bit, and they came up with Fox Sports' Eric Williams recently evaluated the top 10 running back prospects in this year's draft and matched them with an ideal landing spot. He identified Arizona State's Cam Scatterbo as a good fit for the 49ers, projecting him in the potential fourth round, hit or miss with Brad Berriman and of 49er noise. What do you think about Scatterbo? I don't think we talked a lot about Scatterbo.
It's just kind of like I think it's because where he goes in the draft and the draft needs as well.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that's why he's kind of always bypassed in mock drafts and stuff like that. I think that if he was like a fourth rounder kind of type guy, or maybe like a fifth rounder type guy, I think he would be selected a lot more in these mock drafts. We would talk about him a lot more, but he just gets lost in that third round area where there are significantly more needs, especially considering how deep the running back class is. So, like, you got Makuba being there in the third round. So, when you like a tight end like Fenton has fallen in drafts. So, you'd rather get a guard, a D tackle you like more. He just kind of gets lost in that mess just because the running back class is so deep that you're not forced to get Scatterbo, even though you do like him for the 49ers. I love him for the 49ers. When I had my top three yesterday in positions, I think would be perfect for the San Francisco 49ers, considering drafting them in a certain spot. So, like, my Genti wasn't on my list because we're not drafting him at 11, right? Even though he would be perfect for the 49ers. Scatterbo is my top three because it's just like he screams a Kyle Shanahan type guy where, like, he loves his offensive weapons. He loves guys who do multiple things, versatile things, especially a guy who's extremely good at being a yak guy, and he's a bowling ball. Like, on third down, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, you'd be able to do a lot of things with that guy. Check downs on a 3rd and 2 or whatever, 3rd and 3, by a screen or whatever, he's going to get you those 3 yards because he's that bowling ball guy. And he just fits the 49ers so well. And in the passing game, he's good at it. He's good at blocking too. And Kyle loves his blocking running backs. And he's good at those short downs. The problem with Scatterbo, from what I've researched and from my friends who loves running backs, he thinks that he fumbles too much. He has 3 fumbles in the season, which is a lot.
Oh yeah, you can't have those fumbles.
That's 3 fumbles is way too much. It's just because he doesn't go down. And then he's just very slow. Like he's not. But then again, you got Montgomery, who's also runs a 4.6 or whatever it is, something like that. He runs a 4.6, Scabo does. So it's like you can still use a guy who's a bowling ball on those short downs and be like that 1-2 punch. I think that Scatterbo would be absolutely perfect for the San Francisco 49ers because he fits what Kyle would do and use for him. Like if you had 2 running back sets, you had Scatterbo to your right and you had CMC to your left, that would be the ultimate threat on 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 2 because you don't know if CMC on short downs, man, is elite. And then if you have Scatterbo like that, his whole thing, short downs, 33, you don't know which one is it going to, or is it going to Kittle? Like it would open up the offense a lot.
It would open it up, yeah.
Because just what he does.
Now, how's his blocking? What do you think of his blocking? Have you seen him, or has he shown the capacity to pass protect as we definitely need? Because that was a major concern for Jordan Mason in terms of he didn't get a lot of reps because he couldn't quite get down the pass blocking element of being a successful running back in the Kyle Shanahan era. What do you think of Scatterbo's blocking?
Just based on research, I haven't seen film of his blocking. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you there. But based on research, from what I've seen from other people when they talk about him, they say he's one of the best pass blocking running backs in the league in the draft. And I'm gonna take their word for it. And if that's usually where I get the collection of pass blocking like from other people because it's hard to find that film of the pass blocking of players out there. You'll see like 1 or 2 or whatever. Like I've seen like 1 or 2 of him pass blocking. But yeah, he's like a miniature offensive lineman in a lot of ways. Those legs, his ability to recognize, according to what people say, there's ability to recognize the holes that are coming and prepared for the rusher inside and outside. They love this guy as a pass blocker. And so if you get a guy who's a really good at pass blocking the way he does, just based on what people brag about him, what they say about him professionals wise, I just think that something like that is just, hard to ignore, especially with like professionals saying like he's good at the pass blocking thing. I'll take their word on that for that. Sure.
Yeah. He is a little thicky. I noticed he's kind of like bowling ball with feet.
Yeah, it's the best way to word for it. Like he's just he's a thick guy, but he's also athletic too. So it's kind of interesting.
You may mention of his speed. What do they have him timed at?
I think he ran a 4.64, and this was at his pro day though.
Okay,
so that's the difference. Pro day is different. We know pro day and combine are not the same thing. So it's kind of like, did he get a little bit of a boost or whatever? But if you're having your short downs, I'm not expecting Scatterbo to kind of like with Montgomery. I'm not expecting Montgomery to take it to the house, right? It's not his bread and butter. That's Gibbs' bread and butter. It's the 1-2 punch ad. And if you Scatterbo if you just add him as the punch, right?
Yeah.
And you have CMC with the burst, I think that would be a really good 1-2 punch. If you're not going into it like using him not for as a number 1 back, but as a utility belt or I almost want to say fullback, like Kyle Juszczyk does, where he's like short down stuff, passing stuff. He's really the way Kyle uses Kyle Juszczyk is kind of like how he would use, I feel like, Scatterbo.
Yeah.
But with Scatterbo, I think he's faster than Juszczyk, and he does everything that Juszczyk does. And I think Kyle would be a lot more inclined to use him in the passing game and those short downs compared to how Kyle Juszczyk is barely used.
That was another thing I was thinking too, man. We don't utilize our fullback the way we should. Is Scatterbo a potential fill-in for Kyle Juszczyk? Would you see something like that?
Yeah, I would definitely. It's almost like tailor-made for Kyle to like put Scatterbo at that fullback position and just use him as a running back / fullback because he's got the blocking ability right? Probably not as good as Juszczyk, but he can learn in time, especially if Juszczyk teaches him how to block even better and stuff like that. That like those things still come into play. He's still young. I think he would fit in that position really well, especially if Juszczyk is hurt or he's out for some reason, especially considering how much older he is. I think he'd be a good mentor for Scatabo. I do like the fact that they kept Kyle Juszczyk because there's no guarantee you're going to get Scatabo. But if they ended up getting him, it's great to have the mentor guy and him there. And another thing is like it would help Kyle Juszczyk, not Kyle, it would help Kyle Juszczyk. It would help Kyle Shanahan with those play action plays because if you had Scatabo in there, you don't know if it's actually a run or pass play because it's like having another fullback in there where you're confused. Like, okay, is he blocking? Is he running? Especially considering when you have the Luke Farrell at tight end blocking as well. It helps disguise the play action so well when you have a guy who can catch and block like the way Scatabo would be able to do. And with Luke Farrell out there, you won't be able to know if it's a run or a pass because Luke Farrell blocks in the passing game and the running game really, really well. He's one of the best in the game at that. So it's just having a guy like Scatabo helps disguise the play action play. It'll help on short downs as well. It'll help disguise who gets the ball on short downs between CMC and him. I just think it would add a huge element to Kyle Shanahan's playbook and his game. I just think I'm talking up where like we must take him at 75. You know?
That was my next question. Where would he fit? We got let me pull up our draft projections here. We got room here. Let me see. Add that to the docket. We're sitting on a first rounder, second, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, and 3 7s. Where would he fit if we were to bring him in? Because if you're like myself and a lot of San Francisco 49er fans, don't draft any running backs in the 3rd and 4th round anymore. This never works. We've seen who is it? TDP and Sunday Sermon. Mm-hmm. It just left a bad taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah,
but
good.
Is he worth going up in the 4th round? In the 3rd round? Is he? Do you really feel it?
I would definitely say so because the difference between those 2 running backs and Cam Scatto particularly, those 2 running backs did not fit Kyle's system. It was actually one of the weirdest picks ever. Those running backs were power backs. Those running backs were kind of type guys that can't do the things that Cam Scatabo does. And if anything, it kind of reinforces the idea that Kyle will draft him in the 3rd because for some reason he has a thing for drafting these power backs. They're not one-cut guys in the 3rd round for some reason. Like, for example, like Montgomery, he was supposed to go like an early 2nd. I just saw a TikTok of this like yesterday or the day before. He was talking to Amon-Ra St. Brown, talking about how he fell in the draft. He was supposed to go like in the 2nd round, even particularly late 1st, but he ran a slow 40, and he went all the way back into the 4th round, I believe. And he talked about, man, if I ran a faster 40, I would have been taken there. And so I think with Scatabo, with him running super slow as well, he could potentially be in that 4th round, late 3rd situation. The real question is to ask here is like, who's going to be taken by then? Like, is Trayvon Henderson going to be gone? Giddens going to be gone? Judkins going to be gone? You know, obviously Genty's probably going to be gone, and so is Martin Hampton. Once certain running backs kind of like get selected, that's when I think the 49ers should possibly trade up. So, for example, like if Giddens gets selected in like the 3rd round past 75, the 75th pick that we have, I think it's worthy of something like possibly trading up for him from the 100th. Be like, hey, we'll give you a 6th next year. We'll move up, make sure we get our guy Scatabo. I would do that. I wouldn't use the 75th pick. I just think the 75th pick needs to be something where it's like either it's an absolute steal, like you have to take this guy as an absolute steal, or it's a position of need that will be a day 1 starter. So, like, for example, Makuba, at 75, much rather have that because he'd be day 1 starter and he'd be perfect on the outside.
That's my boy.
That's your boy, man. Yeah, for sure. And using the 100th pick or the 113th pick to move up and to make sure you get your guy like that, I think would be worthy of that. And just because he fits you want to make sure you get a guy that that helps your scheme advance, helps your scheme be more disguisable, helps you allow to scheme up a lot more. And I think Scatabo, out of all these running backs, honestly, especially with this pass blocking ability, I think adds a unique where it's like, okay, we have to get this, like, because like TDP and Sermon were not pass blocking running backs, right? They were just these power back guys or whatever.
Exactly.
Scatabo, his only knock is those 3 fumbles and then he's slow. Everything else he's absolutely phenomenal at. He's top tier at that. And if Scatabo was actually faster, if he was like a 4.4 guy, he'd be taken in the first round. That's how good he is. And that's why he's falling.
Really?
He's that freaking fracking good, dude. Scatabo he was the heart and soul of that Arizona Sun Devils team. Like, he was the heart and soul of it, man. He does it all. He breathes football, man. It's just one of those guys where he's on another level compared to those other running backs that we drafted in the past. And I know some 49ers fans are going to be like really butthurt because it's going to be like, did we not learn our lesson about drafting running backs in the third round? This guy is not the same as the others. This one's different. It's just
one of these players is not like the other.
Exactly. So I think that if you used the 113th pick and you moved up, you got him. Again, I would not, from 75 down, I would not draft him. But if like all 5 of those running backs are taken, like the ones I mentioned, and you feel like someone before that 100th pick, it takes him, and you really want him, I wouldn't hate it if they drafted him. But if they draft him, they better actually use him. They actually better put that. Okay, it's like, well, you use a 3rd round pick on him. We're not waiting 2 years from now to use the guy. You need to utilize this guy now, because that 100th pick could have been used on someone for sure. I'm confident could have been used on somebody who would be a day 1 starter for us in especially with our D tackle situation, DN situation, guard situation, safety situation, the 3rd corner situation, linebacker situation. All those come to play. If you do draft him with that 100th pick, you better see Scam out there. I better not see just CMC because Kyle Shanahan's obsessed with that guy.
He loves some CMC now. You know how Kyle is. He's gonna run him into the ground. If he's available and he can hit the field, CMC's gonna be there in a big way. It's just like, Kyle will use it all up. He's the kind of guy at the cookout. He makes sure all the ketchup is used before he opens a new bottle. He's gonna run some water through that thing, shake it up like Mo Tussin. You can get a little bit more ketchup out of there. And we as fans, we want them to. Why won't you just ebb and flow a little bit, stick to clutch, just use that 1-2 punch, here, there, whatever. But Kyle is Kyle. Kyle will stuff up, and you know how that goes.
Definitely. I think what happened, this is just a huge assumption here of trying to like justify everything that happened. But like with CMC, he could do everything, right? Like he does the pass blocking, he does the catch the football in the spot.
Yes, he
runs the ball really well, right?
Jordan
Mason couldn't do that. So like when Jordan Mason was out there, you knew what was going to happen. Like you could predict a lot more what was happening when he was out there. Isaac Guerrero was still a rookie, still trying to figure out things. So like that trust issue there was also there. Like he still had to learn Kyle Shanahan's like a trust thing where he still has. So maybe like CMC being out there allowed him to disguise more. So that's why he forced the issue a lot, because he could do a lot more, which is not wrong. Like he could do a lot more with CMC out there compared to doing the 1-2 punch, which would create more predictability. Well, it's Cam Scatabo though, man. If he does those things. He does all those things you ask him to do. And with Isaac Guerrero under his belt with that 1 year and how great he played in the passing game, it shocked me. I actually was really shocked how well he did in the passing game. If he gets better at his pass blocking, I think Kyle would probably see a lot more Cam Scatabo and a lot more Isaac Guerrero compared to Jordan Mason being out there, who does that one great thing really well, which is running the football.
Oh, Jordan is a runner. Yeah. He's an instinctive runner. He's that guy. He just is instinctive with it, slow to the hole, fast through it. He's got like eyes on the sides of his head. I just learned too about predators and prey. Predators are really single focused, and usually their eyes are a bit myopic. They stay towards the front, while prey or non-predators tend to have a wider view because naturally they want to look out around them to see who's around them at all times. A running back has to kind of look at himself as prey, and he's got to have that instinctive vision, that peripheral vision that he can react to really, really quick to see that hole may be over there and not as it was designed to go here. And then, with his cerebral cortex, get the message from his brain to his feet to get over there and have the wherewithal and the athleticism to make those quick cuts and stuff like that. That's it's just a little tip from me to you, my fair people out there, Golden Domers and Wolf Den. What do you call your folks? The Wolf Pack?
Wolf Pack, Wolf Den, whatever you say. Sometimes I say Wolf Den, sometimes I say Wolf Pack. It just works. Obviously, because I'm Wolfie, so it just kind of works. So either way, it's fine.
You got a lot. You got meat on that bone. You can do whatever you want.
Puns, man, for there, you got to take them. Right? Gotta do it, man.
I threw this up, man, too, because I'm looking at, and it's been a traditional thing that we will go after what we visit, or we will entertain those who we usually wind up drafting. I saw some very, very wonderful names up here at the top of the visits allowed. Tight end, Jalen Conyers of Texas.
Man.
Man, if Kyle do right by me, like Color Purple, as long as you do right by me. I identified this kid, I think it was December I started looking at him. December. This guy's got what we're looking for. Harold Fanning Jr., which is your guy out of Bowling Green, right? They're talking about Walter Nolan, Omar Norman Lott, and I've seen a couple of other content creators say, as long as you can get a guy named Lott in a San Francisco, if you get him in a San Francisco jersey, you're doing good. And then on the virtual interviews, check it out. He had defensive end Elijah Roberts, who I'm crazy about too. I'm like, why are they skipping this guy? But we don't want to give our secrets away to everybody else. Everybody else just keep on looking past. But Elijah Roberts, we're gonna have a little something. And speaking of something special, Wolfie, I got a dude, man, got to come to this stage right now. He needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Coming right now. Pause. Is the great Tony has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. And him and Wolfie
Tony in the house. Hey, we're heck. Oh, look at that, man. Bam.
I feel underdressed. Let me get Tony, what's up, my man? Tony holding it down. What it is, B?
I literally just jumped in the room and I saw him have the hat on. I said, "Oh shit, let me put mine on too."
Y'all gotta send that to me. I'm left out.
Gotta get your helmet, man. You gotta get your helmet.
Y'all got your helmet hats on. What's going on, Tony, man? Good to see you. I know you holding it down up in Jersey.
Yeah, man. I'm doing my thing. Just working, and trying to do some draft stuff. Getting ready for the draft. It's gonna be interesting. It really is.
No doubt,
what do you think? What do you think about this Scatterbo talk? The kid from Arizona State. Me and Wolfie were talking about him. He looks like a solid running back. I looked at him a little bit on film. I'm all in the trenches. Pause. But I did look at Scatterbo a little bit. What do you think about Scatterbo?
Listen, I think he's a legit option. Is he the guy that's the workout warrior in the underwear Olympics? No, but he's the guy that literally put Arizona State on his back and carried him on a good ass run into the playoffs. So he's a good player, man. You can't sleep on this dude. And honestly, I think it feels something the Niners have been lacking for a long time. A big punishing running back that it's not going to go down on the first contact. It's going to take a couple guys to bring this dude down. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got pretty good contact balance, and it's something that this offense is missing, right? Like, what's up, Ty? If you put him in on goal line, he's scoring, bro. I'm sorry, he's that guy. He's that physical. He plays possessed. He plays like with his hair on fire, a man on a mission, and he has no problem. Like if you listen to the dude talk, I remember in one of the big games leading up, leading up to the bowl games, he goes, "I just want to win." I don't remember word for word, so don't hold me to it. He goes, "I just want to win. I'm a competitor." Something to the fact of if my offense needs me, I will be my offense. I have my offense's back. And dude, you put this kid's tape on, he's carrying defenders down the field, bro.
Wow.
It's a work of art. It's a work of art.
And like he's not like I said, he's not winning the underwear Olympics, but he is a football player. And sometimes you got to draft a football player and put the speed and shit away.
That's the first thing, first and foremost. I'm not all about the Raz, man. And I mean, when we look at guys who got this swashbuckling, talented looking, he runs a 4 or something, and he benches this and he's cut like Adonis and stuff. Man, we used to say, hey, he looked like Tarzan and he played like Jane.
Sure.
I really like that analogy. I think it's absolutely hilarious. That's Shamar Stewart right there. That's Shamar Stewart right there.
Hey, man. I've seen it time and time again. They win that underwear Olympics, that Under Armour Olympic. They look good, boy. They look like they cut straight out of the fashion magazine. You get him on the field, man, he looking doofy, club-footed, slow-witted. We call them heavy-legged waist-benders. I need guys that can play on demand. I need guys that can call on it. And sometimes those guys like they like that Miller Lite. Whatever. Got a little chunk in there. It's all good. It's all good.
Cam Scatterbo, everything he pretty much said is pretty much like everything that I pretty much said. And it's like I back that 110%. Like Tony, you're 110% right. Like Scatterbo is a true football player. He loves the game. He'll put his whole entire body on the line to make the plays that he has to. And he doesn't throw anybody under the bus. He's definitely the kind of guy that wants to get to the end zone no matter what. He stays on his feet. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but neither is Montgomery, like I brought up earlier. Like he's that guy on short downs in the NFL. You know, he can get him on a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, or even if you did it on screen or whatever, he's going to get that first down. You're confident in that. And if you have CMC on one side and then you have Scatterbo on the other, that is a crazy threat on short downs. Like that would be something insane. Also in passing downs, we're like 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 6. Scatterbo has that ability to do that wheel route, has that ability to go out there in front of the offense.
That. Yeah, be that safety valve, man. It clears
safety
out. I mean, it's like easy money. It's always there. It's always there because the cornerback has to drop with the X receiver or the number 1 receiver, number 2. They're gonna clear out, man. They're gonna run some snag or they're gonna run some combination, follow, switch, whatever it is. And the flat is going to be there. I play linebacker. Man, I ain't going over there messing around with them people. I'm trying to stay in the middle here where I can patrol and control stuff. Man, you get them over in that flat, you get people in space, they like, oh, Lord.
Well, think about Scatterbo, man. Like another thing I think people don't think about is when we talk about his ability for love of the game and stuff, you put a guy like that on his favorite team, like the 49ers, he's going to want to see this team succeed. He's going to want to see this team win a Super Bowl. So he's going to put double the effort you've already seen from this guy already, which is insane. This guy's tape is crazy. Like he's a true bowling ball down to a T. And if you put him on his favorite team, man, I think he will show the passion, the effort that you want to see from the guy. He's going to take Kyle Shanahan's system seriously because he wants to succeed on this team. And I think something like that is what really puts him up in the forefront for the 49ers to draft him. It's not like just drafting a guy because he's the 49ers' favorite team. It's the fact that you're going to get a true effort football player who has the instincts for the game and has insane football ability. And I passing up on that talent, I think with the 100th pick would be really hard to do. I just think like if you got Cam Scatterbo, I think a lot of 49ers fans in general will just be ecstatic and just be like, would celebrate if we end up getting Cam Scatterbo, regardless of the 3rd round pick stigma that we have for running backs right now. But like I said earlier, Scatterbo is not the same as the others backs like Trey Sermon or TDP. This guy is different. This is a different kind of type of football player, where if he was faster, like I said earlier, if he ran a 4.4, I promise you, he would be a late 1st round pick to an early 2nd round pick talent.
Wow.
He was just faster. Because the same thing happened with Montgomery. He was supposed to be like a late 1st rounder, 2nd rounder, whatever. And then when he ran that slow 4.6 or whatever, he fell all the way down to the 4th round. Same thing's kind of happened with Scatterbo. I think that Scatterbo is he's a shoe-in for the 49ers in every way, and he would help another thing, I don't want to keep talking for so long here, but another thing he presents that we complain as 49ers fans. We complain all the time. Get protection for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy needs protection. And they did that with Luke Farrell. You're going to get that with Cam Scatterbo being the best, in my opinion, from what research I've done, is the best pass blocking running back in the NFL, in this prospect situation. So I think you would help Brock Purdy out. You would help the disguise of the scheme. You would help out. You would also get a guy you definitely could use day one. It's just, I know there's other needs like D tackle, D end, and guard, and linebacker, and corner, like things like that. But you get a true football player who would change the offense a lot. I think.
Gotta protect. Yeah,
I love Scatterbo so much.
You can't block, no rock. I'm seeing a lot of who's this? Edward Austin.
Edward Austin. He's a huge draft guy. He loves drafts.
They're doing their mock drafts and stuff. I keep seeing a reoccurring name. That name is Omar Norman Lott. We have met with him. Tony, what do you think about Omar Norman Lott out of Tennessee?
I like him. He's a good penetrating defensive tackle. There's something going on with the 49ers before I go into this. And I don't know if you guys are catching on to this. The 49ers are honing in on ex-Arizona State Sun Devil players that transfer.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of them. Yeah. He's one of them. Okay.
So it's Jalen Conyers. Yeah, I noticed.
You know what I'm saying? There's something going on here with that program. I know Herm Edwards is there, and I know John Lynch has the utmost respect for him. It is what it is, but there's something going on with that program that the 49ers like. IU from there, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah. Essentially, you got two more guys could be coming in for with the same backgrounds. But
Jaden Daniels.
As far as him, he's a damn good defensive tackle. He's a stout guy, 6'3". I don't have my notes in front of me. 6'3", 320, 315 in that range. He's definitely a pass rushing defensive tackle who doubles that. Like his strengths would be as a pass rusher who could play the run. He's a better pass rusher than he is versus the run, basically is what I'm saying. But I do like him. They have sniffed around him, not only as a top 30 visit, I believe, but they spoke to him. Let me see. I think they spoke to him at the Senior Bowl, if I'm correct.
Okay. Oh, that's a double whammy there. That's a double whammy there. They like the Senior Bowl guys and the guys that they visit and talk to, and he fits the bill. I got him up here right now at 6'3", 315, 5 sacks, 9 hits, 13 hurries. Productivity of a 9.4. And we do need size. We do need bigger guys.
You need a total change up front. All right.
Yeah.
The only person I'm saying, okay, we got a starter, and then that's Nick Bosa. Other than that, listen, boys, strap it up. It's going to be a brawl.
Hey, Evan Anderson, man. Evan Anderson looks solid.
But yeah, he's definitely someone I would take a look at. The one downside to him, I read in one of the publications that he had an ongoing knee issue. Nothing serious. Like,
man.
I don't think it's tendinitis. I don't think it's arthritis. But I think he played through a knee injury and declined. Let me see if I can find it.
Break out your notes, man. Break out your notes. Bebop Jones in the building, everybody.
Where would you,
Papa J, shouting out to all the Golden Domers and Wolf Pack.
Papa J in the house.
Hey,
that's everybody. That's for
what it is, what it be, what it soon shall be. We just
up in the house.
So it's not explaining the severity of it. It's more of like a nagging type issue. But I mean, listen, the guy, he plays.
Where would you draft him then? If you're concerned with a little bit of knee injury, where would you place a guy like that? Run stopping is the biggest need, I think, for the D-tackle.
I see him as the day 2 prospect, in my opinion. He's somebody that could creep into the bottom of 2 and fall into the top of the 3. I see him in that range. But listen, I could be wrong because it all could depend on how the run starts at the defensive tackle position. If there's an early run, obviously what happens when the run happens, everyone climbs up spots. So, so that's where I'm at as far as that. But someone definitely, I think they're going to look at and be serious looking at him. I like how they're getting away from the 6'7", 6'6" defensive tackles.
Yeah.
Towards the traditional 6'3", 6'2" tackles.
There you go.
The lower pad level. These are things that you want to see.
It's natural. Once you pass 6'5", man, you just kind of a target. I used to look for those guys 6'5", man. You can hold them up like a cheap suit. You're already up under them. Low man wins. They tell you that the day 1 football, low man's gonna win. And when you have that natural inhibility, or if I should say that natural tallness, where you're gonna naturally just stand up, you're giving away your chest. And now
Deion Walker.
Then we talk about a whole bunch of other problems.
You're talking about the guy from Kentucky?
Yeah, Deion Walker.
Yeah, I got him up here. Deion Walker, 6'6", 345. 345 sounds nice, but at 6'6", you've distributed that weight a little different.
Well, it's not like you can be that tall and still get low. Like we've seen that. It's like it's not like it's possible or anything. But like if you watch Deion Walker, he just like stands up like an offensive lineman and just does boom. I'm gonna bum rush you. He has
he's
no
so
like
strong. And when you got superpowers, you use them. And he'll toss folks around. But hey, those guys get paid over on the other side, man. Those guys taking care of families. It's different going from college to pro. You're not going to be able to just throw, guys like the Philadelphia Eagles line, guys like the Kansas City Chiefs line, guys like those Los Angeles Rams. You can't just throw them around. That ain't Little Sisters of the Poor University over there, as Coach used to tell us.
I like Norman Lott. I do like him, but I found myself, as I did more research on D tackles, there's a lot more I love, a lot more that fit the 49ers better. You guys might disagree with this, but I just think it's kind of a player that just because he's known for his pass rushing ability, which it's not a bad thing, but the run stopping thing is such a way more priority to me. Where like if he fell in the 4th round, I would take him, and that's kind of maybe a hot take to say, but considering the priority and considering what you can see at D tackle now, where they could stop the run like Alex Collins, I think would be a better option there with the run stopping ability there. I like Joshua Farmer more. I think he'd be just because he could do both those things, pass rush and run stop, and he can play inside and outside. I like him a lot more. There's just players I think that would help out that run stopping ability, which is one more priority, and getting that pass rush still compared to Norman Lott. I do like Norman Lott. I'm not saying he's bad. Like this D tackle class is deep, right? And that's what causes him for me to fall back in that priority aspect of things. We have needs, and I know you don't draft based on needs like all the time. That's not something you should do all the time. Take best player available, etc. But sometimes you can get best player available guy, really good day 1 starter who actually fits your needs, right?
Yes.
And I think you can get a D tackle with that 75th pick who would fit the run stopping and who would be good at pass rushing and be better in the end for the 49ers than Norman Lott would. But I do like the guy. Like I said, I swear I'm not talking shit about him saying he's bad. But we've seen the pass rushing thing. We've tried that experiment with Javon Walker, Malik Collins, and all those other pass rushing D tackles. Did nothing for us, made us look bad, had our defense look terrible. And I'm sorry, but we need that run stopping D tackle and let Nick Bosa be the pass rusher and let the other guy, the other DN, be the pass rusher. I'm so tired. There are priorities, and in this deep D tackle class, you can definitely find a guy who can do both with that 75th pick and 100th pick. And who knows, maybe Norman Lott with some coaching or whatever could turn out to be a very good run stopper. Like with the right coaching, Chris Kasurek, Robert Saleh could probably get that out of him. It's great. But I'd much rather a guy who's more ready that can help us day one on an easy. This is the easiest schedule for the San Francisco 49ers in like the longest time. If I remember correct, they have the easiest schedule in the NFL. Take advantage of it. Like
it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. What do you think about it, Tony? Are you going for pass rushing, get it done guy, or you're going for the lunch pail? I'm going to stuff this middle, and on first and second down is the priority more so than just pass rushing.
I think they need to look at. I mean, if we're talking with the first round pick, they need someone to come on this field and contribute from day one. That first pick, there's no more the draft and develop notion and the mentality is done. It's out the window. It's not happening no more because of now they have to finally pay Brock Purdy. So with that being said, you want, like Wolfie just said, you want the best bang for your buck, right? Yeah. Everyone's dream is to get the 2-for-1, the 3-down combo defensive tackle who is your, pass rusher, your run defender in one. So with that being said, I do think the 49ers would turn more if it's in the first round, they're going for the pass rusher, I think, in my opinion. Because instant impact players, you want guys that are going to make a difference. You want difference makers, right? If you're looking in probably round 3, round 4, in the latter part, you're looking at guys that could be very good at one thing, and then you're going to have guys that have the ability to develop at the other. So this is where you can say, all right, listen, this guy's a really good run stuffer. He's 325 pounds, 330 pounds. He's 6'2". He's got a great first step. His 10-yard split is good. His short shuttle is good. His vertical is good. So he has that get off. But today, the way I look at it is this defense and defenses in the NFL, on your third down situations are, I want to say, about 85% of the time passing situations. So with that being said, no matter what, if you draft, let's just say if Grant was the top defender, the top defensive tackle coming out in this draft, he was the number 1 player overall. As you take him at number 1, whatever, he is the type of dude where he's more better as a run defender, but he offers something as a pass defender because of his pass rusher, because of his athleticism. But teams on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, they're going into speed packages up front. They're sliding their defensive ends inside, and then they're taking their other pass rushers and putting them on the end and stunting and just putting their ears back and going after the quarterback. So that kind of knocks the run stuffer mentality out of the window. So that's why I think out of the picture. So that's why I'm kind of like, at 1, they have to take the best football player, pass rusher, run defender, everything in 1, because he's going to be your 3-down guy. Latter part, you can get that guy where we could say, hey, listen, for all I know, the 49ers are extremely – well, I know that the 49ers are extremely high on Evan Anderson, the guy they signed for $250,000 last year as a draft.
I like that kid.
He's got a bright future.
I like him.
Right then and there, you have your run defender. You have your space eater already on this roster, allegedly. Some people don't want to hear that, but the Niners flat out said when it came down to cut situations, if they cut him, he was getting snagged somewhere because it came down to a bidding war between us and Seattle for his services. We upped the ante. We got him. So it would have been like a DJ Reed type of situation all over again. So with that being said,
so sad.
I think they see. I think in their vision.
Did that hurt Wolfie?
That hurt, man. The DJ Reed thing, man. That
it was horrible.
I skipped a beat there because I remember on track, but I remember that release. I was like, "What are you doing?" And then he went to Seattle, and I was like, "No."
Yeah, no, that was bad. But I mean, listen, they learned their lesson over it because they didn't let him go. So with that being said, I think in their heads they have their space eater down on this roster. Now they're looking for more of the pass rusher and stuff like that. So now my question is not my question. My comment would be to this, right? I think they're going to go back to the notion of the Super Bowl defense where you had the true over-under defense where you're one defensive tackle, the Dana Stubblefield, if you will, at 2, listed at 305, but he was probably more toward 335. And then you had your penetrator and Brian Young.
Got you.
So you have your space eater and then your pass rusher on the same and base downs and stuff like that. That's the notion I think they're going to, that more over under front. And it would flip the defensive tackles and the defensive ends, depending on the alignment of the offense. So with that being said, I think that's what they want to follow. You have Gus Bradley here. You have Robert Saleh here. And I think you're going to see the true Seattle defense coming back to San Francisco instead of the modified and adjusted, the way it's been when Robert Saleh was first here, from the lines and all down the line.
And then Sorensen. We had Lynch in between that, right? And then Sorensen. Wilkes, and he was just over his skis, man. Sorensen, he didn't. I had an interesting article at 49ers Web Zone before we get into our mock draft here, Tony. It listed. Let me put it on up here.
Let me make a comment real quick about the.
Go ahead, bro.
On top of the thing. That's the thing. Like, if we were to draft Walter Nolan, for example, that's something I agree with too. Like, the thing with Evan Anderson, I like Evan Anderson a lot, but it's just a question mark, and I don't like. I love what he could be. He can be that guy, that 2 lineman eater, right? And then like you have that pass rusher in the middle with the D tackle. I love that idea. That's something I've wanted to as well. The thing is, like, this with Walter Nolan, like if you drafted Walter Nolan at 11, you better get a D tackle. I think that could eat up 2 linemen. Like if Grant were to fall there, or if like Alex Collins who could eat up 2 people and stuff like that. You need to reassure yourself. I like Evan Anderson, I really do, and I think he could be that guy. But like my concern with Evan Anderson is like there's still questions with that guy, as in like, can he be that full-time starter that eats up those 2 guys? And so like I agree with you. No, I 110% agree with you. I think that's something that they should definitely do. And with like Walter Nolan, he's that one-on-one kind of type D tackle, while you need to get someone like Alex Collins or who could eat 2 guys, right? You know what I'm saying? So I like that idea. I think that's definitely something they should definitely do for 110%. And if they get their 2-man guy like Kenneth Grant with 11, and then they got Norman Lott, that's almost like the same thing. That'd be a great 1-2 punch that you would do there. So
now we've been fixating, focusing, and figuring right on the defensive line and in the trenches as well. We should. That's where my heart lies, and that's where I've been looking for a couple of years to bolster that in the offensive line as well. Pro Football Focus reinforcing the secondary. Their PFF analysis of Mason Cameron released a first-round mock, and he projects that the 49ers will go after Jahdae Barron with the 11th pick, and it's increasing popular prediction among mock drafts. What do y'all think of that?
Yeah, well,
okay. I personally hate the idea of drafting a corner with that 11th pick. Did Lenore and Green fall off the face of the earth? Like, I understand that there is that 3rd corner position that we need to address, right? I totally understand that. Like, that is a need, right? But you have no one at D tackle. You need depth at D end 110%, and you need a guard. There's way more needs that are involved that you can get at 11 that would be day 1 starters. It's not like you're forcing the issue addressing those needs. That's the problem I have. It's like as if these analysts have no idea about Lenore and Green. And it's as if you think that just because Ward's gone, suddenly we have no corners. We have no D tackle that we can get at 11 that would fit perfectly day 1 and be best player available. Same thing with D end as well, which Mike Green is my draft crush there at 11. Then you got the guard position. If Membu is there, you can move Membu at right tackle to guard. 2 important positions as well. I feel like it would be absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not saying Barron's not a first-round talent. I'm not saying that at all. But you do not need 3 number 1 corners on your defense. You do not need that. You need 1 number 1, a 1 number 2, which is like a 32 between 64 guy, and hopefully you can get a guy that's between 32 and 64. But realistically, your 3rd corner is going to be that 64 between 96 kind of type corner. Realistically, that's the standard. but you got nothing at D tackle. You got nothing at D end. You got nothing at left guard. Why would you use the 11th pick on something that's not even like your top 5 need, in my opinion? Like, it's ridiculous to me. And
Man got a point.
get a corner in the 3rd, get a corner in the 4th. There's still free agent corners that are available that can play that 3rd round spot. That could be that 3rd corner, not 3rd round, but 3rd corner spot. I don't. It drives me nuts when I see like Nick Wright, for example, Johnny Brown, or Will Campbell.
Old Nicky.
But like
Nick wrong. Tony,
wrong.
What you feel?
I like that.
If we bust out here night 1, which is, are we less than 2 weeks away? Where's it at? It's
16 days away.
16 days away. We're almost 2 weeks. Tony, if we bust out round 1 at the 11th pick, the San Francisco 49ers select so-and-so, University so-and-so cornerback. How would you feel about that?
I would be absolutely shocked. Unless this is the one scenario, and hear me out. Will Johnson is the top corner, I think. I think we all agree he's the top corner.
I knew I liked you, Tony. I knew I liked you.
Other than Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter, yeah.
Other than Travis
He's your number 1 guy, true.
So here's the thing. Something just popped up on my phone over Bleacher Report saying that he's going to compete. He's going to have his own mini pro day.
Oh.
Who Will or Travis?
No, Will Johnson.
Okay.
He's running. He's going to compete. He's going to put up a
turf test fine then?
So it's going to be interesting to see what these numbers produce, what comes out of this. One thing I will tell you, Barron is a great corner. He's a great slot defender. He's one of those guys that can give you versatility of inside and out. And also, I think he could probably project to a free safety type player in a defense at the next level. But the interest hasn't been reported, or his name hasn't been mocked to the 49ers since when? Do you guys know?
The last one I saw was Nick Wright's, which was like yesterday, I think.
Well, when was the first time you saw his name? It was post-combine, right?
Oh, it's somewhere on there, yeah. I would say yeah.
All right. So obviously he ran a very well time. I don't remember what the exact time was, but he's flying. And look at where the source is coming from, PFF. Guys that live off of numbers, speed, how they test, metrics, all this crap. Yeah, but this would be, in my opinion, a 100% luxury pick if the 49ers chose this route. Now, if you're telling me Will Johnson, if the 49ers are at 11 and a team really wants like Ashton Jetney, he's fallen to the 11th pick and the 49ers are on the board, and they move back 2, 3, 4 slots, pick up additional picks, the team jumps up and drives Jetney, and then they take Will Johnson, you're talking about a different scenario. That's a scenario where I think they can go cornerback and solidify that secondary probably for 4 to 5 years down the road now.
Sure.
As far as your top 3 corners. Now the flip side of it, this projection goes against the notion of who they've been sniffing around. Okay? They've been sniffing around corners 6'2", 6'3". Do they want their Richard Sherman? Does Gus Bradley want his Richard Sherman in San Francisco again? Because the kid they're sniffing around, Frazier, I forgot what damn school he's from. Hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
Frazier?
Yeah, his last name is Frazier. 1 second. I have it here. I like my text list, my notes.
There's a corner. I know there's a guard named Frazier.
Hold on.
Zaw Frazier?
Zaw Frazier from
University of Texas, San Antonio.
UTSA, correct. 6'3", sub 4'4", ran a 4'3". Okay, you're talking about long arms. You're talking about press man coverage. Stuff that the Seattle defense, who the creator was, Gus Bradley, is potentially looking to do in San Francisco. That's a good fit.
And a 4.36.
That's the opposite of Barron.
He's fast.
Right?
Too.
Or am I wrong?
Yeah.
You're right.
What's Barron's measurables? What are we looking at with him?
I
Barron's
think Barron's 5'11".
He's like, I know he's in the 5s for sure. But you're not wrong. I mean, 100%. Also, like they haven't done any like there's been no reports.
5'11", 200 pounds. 5'11",
23 years old. Yeah. It's pretty much what you're saying, which is like the 49ers have done. There's been no link to this guy whatsoever from Matt Burrows, for example, or like the 49ers inside guys who actually know what the 49ers are doing more so than these other guys. So you're not wrong. Like they're 110%. There's been no interest in this guy. And when that 40 time came around, when the combine comes around, everyone jumps up in the draft. We all know that Shamir Stewart, for example, and a bunch of other players. So I do agree with you. Like I don't understand. Like I think what happens is, and this is just a conspiracy theory, certain people get paid like by agents to be like, hey, put this guy higher on your board. Hey, put this guy here so he gets higher on your board. So becomes more priority. I think generating interest. Exactly. Yeah, and I think Jahdae Barron falls into that where it's like, hey, put my boy higher. Oh, the 49ers need a corner because they lost Ward. Put him there. And so I think that's really what happened there because there's been, like you said, zero connection of Jahdae Barron to the 49ers until
again, it jumped out to me as soon as I read it. I'm like, where do we even get this? Why are we doing that? That is a great
to the 49ers theory. I think a couple times.
Now the Draft Network says, hey, I think the 49ers are going to try to bolster that offensive line. They're looking at Kelvin Banks Jr., which I did mock in a draft that we had, Wolfie, the very first one we had, where we moved back to 27 to pick up, I think, 2 extra picks. With this, I know I can't say Kelvin Banks Jr. at 11. In my opinion, what do y'all think? Do you think it holds water? Do you think it's meritable?
I mean, okay. So, Tony, do you want to go first?
No, go ahead.
I've been hating on Kelvin Banks since day one.
Yeah,
I'm a day one Kelvin Banks hater.
Wolfie,
when I first watched him play. Yeah. When I first watched him play to do my research on the guy and stuff, I don't see a 49ers tackle there or guard. I know some people say, oh, well, he played outside zone in Texas. I understand that. Well, he wasn't very good at it, in my opinion. When you watch him play, when there's nobody in front of him, he's lost. He doesn't know where to go or what to do. Right. And I've seen multiple 3rd round picks, 2nd round picks, 4th round picks beat this guy all the time. I don't understand the love for Kelvin Banks. It's because he's from Texas and he played left tackle and he only allowed 2 sacks. I don't know. But when I watch him play, he just does not, to me, scream 49er or scream what Kyle Shanahan's going to want from this guy. I've never liked Kelvin Banks, and I know there's a lot of people that do like him, like, hey, he's a left tackle, and we need a left tackle for the future, blah, blah. I'd much rather go out and get Holland Pierce in the 4th round and work on a project instead, or wait next year to get that left tackle if Trent Williams retires. I'd much rather see something like that than force the issue with Kelvin Banks, who I think does not fit well enough. He's familiar with the system because the outside zone. Doesn't mean he's also good for that system, though. You know what I mean? Like, I've never liked Kelvin Banks, but I know that the 49ers have been linked to Kelvin Banks because of that guard issue and that left tackle situation. So I understand that. He started as like a top 5 pick, fall into the 49ers, et cetera. I get the hype there. But, I mean, don't force the issue at your future left tackle. Don't force the issue there just because he happens to be the best one available. Trading back for him even all the way into the 20s, I still hate it. I absolutely hate it. And this is a hot take. This is 110%. I know I'm in a minority here, but I think he's a bust relatively to being a 1st round pick. I'm not saying he won't be a starter, right? For like, you know, because some people get second contract somewhere else, like Kinlaw even. He's not technically a bust if you look outside, but if you're saying he's a 1st round guy in that terms, I think he's a bust. I think he's just going to be your average player who's probably going to get a second contract somewhere else, maybe with a team, but on a cheaper deal. He's not your answer. And that's what I think a 1st round pick needs to be. He has to be your answer to that position. And relative to that, I think he'll be a bust. And that's a hot take. That's 110% a hot take. But I just don't see it with Calvin Banks. And I fear Tony is going to be like, no, I love Calvin Banks. And it's like, I don't mean to hate. I'm just saying, I've never been a Calvin Banks guy. And I'll end this right now. If Josh Simmons did not get that knee injury, he'd be the best tackle in this draft. And I'd say the 49ers draft him.
Josh Simmons, Ohio State guy.
Love that guy, dude. He's phenomenal, man. I'm glad Tony's all excited because it's like, yes, that's my guy too. If it wasn't for that knee injury.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, that knee injury busted out a little bit. Tony, what you got? Kelvin Banks at 11.
When your general manager of your favorite football team comes out and says, yeah, well, we have the draft as a response to why didn't we fill any holes? Why did we move on from people and not backfill the roster? Why da. Just so you know, we have the NFL draft. If they draft Banks, hold on. If I draft Banks, where is he playing day one?
Guard.
Why are we spending a first round pick on a guard?
There you go.
No defensive line.
Yeah.
I understand Trent Williams is a ticking time bomb. I mean, as far as the unknown of his status.
Yeah.
I understand that. But with that being said, you have massive holes on this team right now. Mainly, thank God, on the defensive side of the ball. If the season started tomorrow, the 49ers could field an offensive line and be competitive. No doubt in my mind. They could field an offensive line and be competitive. They can't field the defensive line and be competitive next year. I mean, well, if it started tomorrow. So that tells you where I'm going as far as this. Even if they did choose offensive tackle, I'm still not choosing Banks. I personally like Will Campbell. I like the kid from LSU. He's a 4-year starter. He's hold the utmost respect in that locker room from that team. He's the award winner for wearing the number 7 embroidered on his jersey at LSU. That's something big. It's equivalent to wearing number 1 at Michigan. One at Michigan. No, there's another school that also does it too, to be honest with you. So my team is this.
And that number 1 is very prestigious. Single digits is very prestigious. I've been there trying to get that single digit. Man, I wanted to wear 5 at Virginia Union. They said, well, I tell you what, we'll let you wear 5 and here, take another 5 with it. You got 55.
My thing is this, right? You have massive holes on your defensive line. Why are we looking at offensive line? I understand everybody, the fan base wants it 100%. It is a need, but it's not a major need right now. They need to field the defense. Okay. The flip side of it is if you go back and watch Georgia, Texas, a guy that's being talked about being drafted in the first round, top 15, top 10, in Micaiah Williams, who finished the year with 5 sacks, threw this guy around on some reps like a rag doll.
I heard about that a lot.
Yeah, it was a bad game.
Yeah.
So
it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's bad.
And I got to be honest with you guys. I want to watch you guys do a mock draft. I'm going to sit here and just watch because I want to see how you guys think. And then I'm going to tell you how I think once you guys are done because
all right, you got to be our tiebreaker, though, if we disagree.
This first round, this top 15 of this draft, honestly, is a fucking disaster if you want to know the truth. Because hear me out. It's talented. But if you're a guy that's basing not only because we're football people, we watch film, we do this, we watch all-star games, the Senior Bowl, the East-West Shrine Bowl, the Hula Bowl. I watched all of them. I got them all on DVR, and I just keep going back and watching them. My thing is this. You're talking about investing, and it's not only for Micaiah. Micaiah Williams had 5.5 sacks last year, right? You're talking about investing a top 10, top 15 pick. We'll get on to him in a minute. Ellison, top 10, top 15 pick for this guy, right? Where's the production end of it? These players at these major schools, Georgia, and who's the linebacker? Jalen Walker? Everyone's screaming about Jalen Walker as going at 11 for the 49ers. What position does he play?
Linebacker and edge.
A tweener.
He's a master of none, as some would say.
Do you see what I'm saying right now?
Yeah.
There's a lot of question with these players. I'm not saying they're not talented. They're very talented players.
A lot of high upside type players.
These are guys that you're evaluating game in, game out, watching them, and they're from what you're seeing, You have to project their trajectory into your system if you choose to select them with your first pick. Yeah. You have to almost try to predict the future and say, I think this guy could be an 8 to 10 sack guy if we line him up in a wide line instead of a 4-eye or a 5 technique as a defensive end from Michael Williams. Or even sometimes they line him up as a defensive tackle. This guy's a pass rusher. Like, I hate evaluating.
Pretty big dude.
I hate evaluating Georgia players. I hate it.
I need to know something real quick. What is your favorite college first? Because I need to know if it's bias.
I like Florida State.
I don't know enough about college.
How long have you had that problem, Tony?
Are you a long time.
What's that?
I've had that problem a long time, Tarrerdome. Long time.
Is Florida and Georgia?
We're not Obamacare. It's okay.
I like Florida State, not Florida. Florida State is in the ACC. Florida and Georgia, they're both in the SEC.
Okay. We respect Florida State. You know what Tarrerdome is. It's
the
all
U.
about the U, but
I thought the U looked like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You pointed out like that.
No, I'm messing with you, Tarrerdome. You know I love you.
The thing about,
and of course, I like Rutgers as a home, local.
And Virginia Tech. I like Virginia Tech and Pitt.
To talk about Jalen Walker just real quick, if the 49ers were to draft Jalen Walker, they would have kept Leonard Floyd because Leonard Floyd is a Jalen Walker type player.
Correct.
If they fit the system, they would have kept him because you want a guy who's a veteran who can do what Jalen Walker does for Floyd. You want a guy who could teach him the ropes and show him, hey, I was successful at it. They would have kept him. They would be like, he's part of this system. He's part of this defense. They would have kept Jalen Walker. Jalen Walker, I'm guaranteed, will not be the guy for the 49ers at 11 because it does not fit the scheme. And again, the proof is in the pudding. They would have kept Leonard Floyd.
Correct. So, I agree with that.
And the 33rd team had us with if Mason Graham is available, that would be the pick. But I feel that that's not going to be very, very prevalent nor probable. So, hey, I ain't going to entertain that anymore. People want to see a mock draft. Let's get the mock draft going here. I'm going to stop sharing that. And we're going to go into it here.
Real quick, I don't think Tony's heard my take on this. Now, I'm actually curious about his take on it.
Go ahead, Bob.
I don't think Mason Graham is as good as advertised.
Why is that?
I don't think he's bad. Like that. Let me throw this out there. I do not think he's bad. I think he will be like a Christian Wilkins-esque good D tackle that people will respect. But people are telling me that Mason Graham is like this Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, and like he's this echelon of type player. But when I watch him play, man, I know stats aren't everything, but he doesn't have the production, right? His best game was against Minnesota, which every freaking defensive player in this draft has had a great game against Minnesota. That's his best game. And usually people refer Minnesota to be the best game. I still think he's good, but from what I've seen him, I see just a run-of-the-mill Christian Wilkins, top 15, maybe to 20-ish D-tackle kind of type player in my eyes. He played with Kenneth Grant, who's going to be a first-round draft pick, and he played with Josiah Stewart, who's like your Jalen Walker discount, in my opinion, kind of type player. He plays linebacker and edge as well. You have these guys that are going to go first and third round. You're going to have guys that's going to help you with your production. And when I watched him play, and I watched I watched his highlights and stuff like that, and I watched other breakdowns of the player. There's so much breakdowns of this player. Most of his great plays, either from Minnesota or the player that's about to be sacked, is running away from either Kenneth Grant or Josiah Stewart, and Mason Graham just happens to be there. Like, he makes those big plays because Mason Graham has that huge support. He's a good run stopper. Like, that is something he's really good at. I'll give him definitely previous props. He's a really good run stopper, right? But when it comes to like rushing the pass or whatever, he gets massive help from Kenneth Grant and Josiah Stewart. And he doesn't have the sacks and the pressures that really kind of back those kind of numbers that you would expect for somebody who's supposed to be the dominant force on that Michigan line that has that first rounder and that third rounder on that line, right? And then I think there's another Michigan player that's going to be drafted next year that's projected to go like second round or first round or something like that. Mm-hmm. I just think that maybe his talent is boosted and his what he's done is because of the players around him. That is a hot take, and I know that for a facto, okay? But I just have to go with my gut, with what I see and the evidence I see, and I'm honest with it. And not everyone's going to be right about a player, okay, in the first round, top 10 or stuff like that. And that's my shot. That's my shot at a player that I think will not be as good as advertised, is Mason Graham. And if I'm wrong, I'm known to admit when I'm wrong. I am. You can ask the Wolf Den. You can ask the Wolf Pack. I've been wrong before. I've 110% admitted it. But I'm putting it.
To his defense, let me just read off what they got on him. Graham has shorter than ideal arms for the NFL interior defensive lineman, but outside of that, there is a lot to love. He is fast, violent, relentless, and he can stop the run with great strength. He brings a high floor at all times and a high ceiling in flashes of the 3 technique at defensive tackle on a 4-3 front. He's ranked the number 1 defensive interior lineman in all of college football at a 91.1 for this year. And last year he was at a 90.0. Straight up sacks 5 this year, 4 last year, hits 9 this year, 7 last year, hurries 20 this year, 18 last year, and he batted the ball. He's pretty relentless at 406 snaps in the B gap, only 11 in the A gap defender, and then in 23 it was 49 in the A gap defender and 328 as a B gap. He's over the tackle at 83 snaps for this year, and outside the tackle at 38. So he can move down the line a little bit. He's not your ideal off the edge kind of guy, obviously being that of 6'3" to 320 pounds, only 21 years of age. He has shown me in good games against big people like USC. He had an 83.5, like Washington at a 90.6, Michigan State at a 76.9, Oregon at a 70.9, and Northwestern and Ohio State both over 80, with Ohio State being at 88.4. He's he's kind of what you just.
He's a PFF warrior. I understand. I know. I just that's my shot. That's my guy, man. That's my hot take.
Exceptions to every rule. Maybe he just performed really well, and I've seen it. Hey, we thought it was this, but every indication says he is that, and he's done it. He sustained it. He shows you flashes. It's a conglomerate of scouts and everybody else saying, hey, this is probably your best guy to go with. I don't even think he's going to make it to 11. I don't think
so either. If he does,
it would have to be a run on quarterbacks. And I am hearing a little bit of buzz about my guy at Alabama, Milroe. He's moving up a little bit. You would have to throw Jackson Dart in there. Somehow they would have to get into your top 10, and somebody's got to be a little stupid, and he would have to fall that way. But barring that happen, I don't even think he's going to be an option. Tony, what you got?
Well, let me ask you a question. Who would you take at 11 out of the defensive tackles if all were available?
That's the thing, is I would take Mason Graham at 11.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's bad, and I'm not saying he's a bust like Kelvin Banks. I'm not putting him on that echelon of players. Like Mason Graham would be a good – Christian Wilkins is a guy you give a lot of money to. Christian Wilkins is a good D-tackle kind of type player. He's somebody – Mason Graham is somebody I would draft at 11. But it's what people are saying Mason Graham is. I would not put him to that standard of a player where it's like he's going to be this – number 1, number 2 D tackle in the NFL kind of in the future kind of type guy. He's going to be your 15 to 20 in the teens kind of type D tackle you do pay a lot of money for. Because keep in mind, there are 2 D tackles most of the time on the field starting. So there's 1 through 64 starting D tackles. He's going to be your 115 to 120. Strawberry, you don't need to bring that up. Okay, just because I admit I was wrong.
Strawberry.
No.
Strawberry, thank you so much. Strawberry. Yes, Wolfie has admitted he was wrong. He wanted to trade Kittle at one point, and he has since admitted, hey, that was asinine, that's the 10, that's the 11.
My most embarrassing thing I've ever said. I'm telling
He
you.
trade Kittle.
My most embarrassing thing ever, dude.
And I gotta be honest with you. Hey, look at his historic static. The second tweet.
Okay. The second one or the first one?
No, that should be the opposite way. No, the first one you had up there.
Okay.
Graham is Bryant Young. Graham is like Stubblefield. Bryant Young makes Stubblefield better.
Him like Stubblefield. Bryant Young made Stubblefield better.
So here's the deal. This is what I think about the whole situation, what you just said. Is he going to be perfect? Is he going to be Aaron Donald? No. But no one knew Aaron Donald would be Aaron Donald before he became Aaron Donald in the NFL.
Yeah.
This is all
they really just judged his size, and that's why he fell, because he was too small.
This is all crapshoot. It's based off of projections. You try to come up with an answer by using – some people have these crazy formulas and stuff like that. I don't, but it is what it is. So with that being said, I honestly feel that he is the best defensive tackle. And if he's at 11, he's the hands-down pick, no questions asked. That's it. Because he improves the 49ers defensive line. The positives about him, he's a former wrestler. Love former wrestlers playing defensive tackle. Number 2, he has an extremely high motor, and I think that separates him from Walter Nolan. That's where I am with that.
That's crazy because people say Walter Nolan has a really high motor too.
This kid's motor is I've never seen. He's like the freaking
he's a V12 and Nolan's a V8.
Okay.
No, but I'm being dead honest with you. The kid just doesn't stop. He's relentless, and I just like that. Walter Nolan does have a motor, but my thing is there's plays where you see Walter Nolan just la-di-da in that play. It happens. There's times it happens, right?
What was that again, Tony? La-di-da.
They just la-di-da.
La-di-da.
So the other thing I brought up the motor, I brought up the wrestling background. The other thing consistently when I watched him, and I went in with the mindset, okay, I'm watching Kenneth Grant this game. That's all I'm watching. I don't give a shit where 55 is. If he's standing on his head, rushing the passer with his hands, I don't care. I'm watching him. And guess what? Your eye travels, and my eyes caught majority of the time of Nelson Graham getting doubled and Kenneth Grant getting one-on-ones. That's a major factor.
Okay.
So I also understand that the Niners keep saying that they're taking this note from this offseason of doing the Rams. Right? Go double down on defensive line the first 2 rounds of the draft. First 2 picks of the draft. Bang. There you go. Not Brandon Fitt. That's not the kid from Florida State.
Yeah, that's him.
Is it?
That's
I watch FSU, because they played. It's ACC country down here. Yeah. I knew Brandon Fisk was coming before everybody else paused. I saw that beast just do Derek Thomas like stuff. That's really what I look for in a defender. When I see you make consecutive plays and take over a series for a minute, or that thrills me, man.
And that's what you want from your number 11 overall pick.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're looking for.
So are you saying that to eliminate it's not Walter Nolan, to eliminate Mason Graham, you just got to double team the guy? Because I've seen him get stonewalled when he gets double teamed. So again, I would take him at 11, but I've seen Aaron Donald, Chris Jones, and those type echelon players that you say a person is in college handle double teams well. And that's what I'm saying. Like Kenneth Grant, you're right. He gets those one-on-ones. But when Mason Graham gets those double teams too, he gets shut down. So it's like to put that guy on that echelon of like these guys who've done it in college where the double teams. Because Aaron Donald, I went back and watched his tape. Oh my God, dude. Double teams did not matter back then. Didn't matter in college. NFL. Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
When you watched him in college, dude, double teams did not matter. He wanted you to do it because he would split you up in the middle with that
Exactly.
little arm move thing he does.
And you saw tendency.
That's a Hall of Famer. He
And
you know.
I got to be honest with you. From watching Mason Graham, you saw tendencies on how he splits a double team. It's he drops his front knee and he rips through the double team. He has a very similar technique to Aaron Donald. I'm not saying he is, but the technique is there. Now, my question is, and I'm not too familiar with Michigan. I could actually ask Breezy about this because he's a huge Michigan fan.
Yeah, Breezy loved Michigan.
But I will tell you this. The film that I was watching, the games that I was watching, it seems like they're a two-gap team up front. That's a major difference. If you're a two-gap team up front, that takes your free willing, like just to go blow up a hole and get in the backfield and make a play. The 49ers aren't a two-gap team up front. They just bang. They're A gap, they're B gap. That's their gap. The linebacker fills the opposing gap. It's one gap, pin your ears back, get upfield.
Yep.
So these are things that you also have to account. Like why I think Mikael Williams could be the 11th overall pick for the 49ers, because they haven't used him at Georgia as a wide 9 defensive end or even a 7 technique as a defensive end. He's consistently inside shoulder, outside shoulder of the fucking tight end in the tackle, and he's getting double teamed. But what you see in Mikael Williams is his strength. You see him to be able to blow through a double team, using his arm length, using his strength. Is he the fastest? No. Is he the most athletic? No. But you see his raw ability stand out. Even though he doesn't have the sack numbers, you continuously see him blowing up offensive tackles. And that's what you got to say. All right, well, listen, if he's doing this on a double, if he's a 5 technique and he's getting this, if he's a 7 technique here, or maybe even a 9 technique angled in, will that give him the right angle to use what he has, his tools, and get around that cornerback, run the arc, get around the tackle, run the arc, and get to the quarterback? That's what this is about. It's a mind game. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Wake Martindale, that's my guy there. Again,
Yeah, he's a blitz happy. What does that say? We want those dudes.
You see how good Graham was.
That's the other thing. It all falls on coaching too, right? I mean,
oh yeah. You got to fit. You got to. It's all in how you fall in the scheme. I use the Nnamdi Asomugha reference a lot.
Good Lord.
He was everything in Oakland, and then you bring him. Where they bring him to Philadelphia, and you're asking him to do something else. He don't. You're supposed to be a good corner. He had all those picks. Why don't we make you Darrelle Revis and you travel with the best receivers? Hey, man, I don't do that. I get on the right side because quarterbacks are right-handed, and I just hang out. I play press bail. It ain't the same thing. You got to be in the right system that fits you and you can flourish. But some guys are just so immaculately talented. It don't matter what system they in. This dude is just bona fide ball player. It didn't matter what system Deion Sanders was in. You can just put him, take that guy and shut him down. It ain't but a few of those in there.
You shut down half the field.
Yeah. You take the best receiver over there, or take the second best, and we'll double up on the first one, which is a greater ploy and a greater strategy. I felt.
So you'd be fine with Mikael Williams at 11? Tony?
I gotta be honest with you. I don't know who I'm with right now at 11. I don't think Graham is there. I think if they're gonna try to take somebody and because I'll tell you one thing that Mikael Williams does very, very well, and I think he does it the best out of any defensive end in this draft, is setting the edge and defending the run. I think he does that at I'm not going to say elite because it's college football, and that's that.
I'll be worried about the things you say because they come back to bite you in the ass.
No. He does it at a high level, and I have no problem saying that. He does do it at a high level.
All right,
let's go ahead and get started here.
You got 5 sacks to come with it if you're asking red setter, and that would work with Nick Bosa, who's your primary pass rusher guy. So that would kind of work. It's kind of like that Ebukam kind of type guy, who is your edge setter kind of type dude, while Nick Bosa was your pass rusher. And that was a pretty good situation there. I personally would much rather get like Mike Green. I mean, Mike Green at 11 would just be like.
Well, the reason why I'm not saying Mike Green is because of the off-field stuff.
Okay.
And this team has changed and tried to stay away from that due to past practice. If the off-field stuff wasn't there, I think you're talking.
Oh yeah, I would take him, but I know the 49ers will not.
They're showing a lot of interest in the guy, though. They brought him in for the 30 visit. If he can mitigate Senior Bowl.
If he can mitigate, that's what we say in the military. You need to mitigate something that's happened. A guy and sometimes guys are up for clearances and things of that nature. Something might have happened in the past. Could have caught a DUI. Could have caught a bar fight. Something like that. If you can show where you went to the judge and hey, they ordered you to some anger management class or driving class or something like that, and you mitigated it out. Well, we'll say okay, that's good. I think the kid has 2 of these, so
he has. I think he has sexual assault accusations, but they weren't. Yeah. They were dropped, I believe. Like they didn't stick around, so they were dropped. So it's like, there's that question. Like, I don't know. There was 2 of them.
Yeah.
But if it means anything, the 49ers are doing their due diligence with that player by seeing what he's at Senior Bowl, having him as a visit. I'm assuming they asked him about these things. I'm assuming like they pressured him like they do in interviews all the time.
Oh yeah,
at combines.
Say, just put it like this. They have the answers to all their questions already. They reached out to the defendant. They reached up to the not the defendant, the victim. They reached out to the police departments. They reached out to the schools. Their security team. I know the one guy. I met him when I was there, speaking to another guy that I knew that used to work for the organization. And this guy was as hard nosed and blue collared as you'll see. Yeah, he's a former military guy, former cop, and they know the answer before this kid.
I just want to see how you answer it.
That's it.
I already know what it is.
Well, it's kind of like with they've learned their lesson with Reuben Foster. They're gonna make sure that this guy is actually like, okay, do you have a head on your shoulders? Guys like
not that Reuben was a bad, a terrible guy, because a lot of his stuff got mitigated. But when you go to the combine and you get thrown out for arguing with the doctors, dude, that should have just sent up all types of red flags, dude.
Yeah.
It's a job interview. When the last time you went to a job interview, dude, put out the job interview and got the job?
Yeah, but he was like, I think what obviously brought him down, made him worse, was all that drama. And drama, we all know, can make you all the distraction in the world, make you a worse player. That's 110%. Alden Smith being like one of the proofs of that.
Oh my God, you keep like, damn.
There you go. That hurt. That was a shot in the heart, Tony.
What do you say?
I just think that something like that would. I just think that they would learn their lesson from those players, and if they think that he wouldn't be that kind of type of player, I'm going to trust the 49ers to say, hey, they did the due diligence. I'm not going to get into that, Bob Jakes. That's a whole other kind of conversation. I'm not going to.
Ray Lewis didn't.
Football here.
Ray Lewis. Bebop, Ray Lewis didn't kill the guy.
Somebody's in the Hall of Fame
with the guys who committed this.
I love that. That's so funny.
Ray Lewis did not kill anyone.
I don't know, man. I don't mean to laugh because someone died. So, but I just
the great Mark Twain said. The great Mark Twain said, "A lie can get around the world before the truth can get his shoes on."
I'm gonna let before you get to the mock draft, let me use the restroom real quick, and then we'll do it. I'm drinking a lot of water.
Restroom. I'm gonna kick it with Tony. Tony. Lay your head on my pillow. How you been, man?
Good, man. Just hanging out, doing my thing, working, trying to prep for the draft, getting excited for it. I'm ready for it, man. I can't wait.
Y'all going up? Are y'all gonna get the hotel room and do the due diligence? Are y'all,
as of right now, yes, we are.
Okay.
Right now,
I can discuss it. I gotta work, man. They working me like a Hebrew slave out here. Bebop, don't forget the deer antler spray. 49er minded. That's my man there. He said, yeah, it was some deer antlers spray. Ray Lewis, he did some stuff. I don't know what that deer antler. I ain't heard about the deer antler stuff since, but yeah, it happens. Tony has done it again. He bringing up that all day draft stream. Yes, we are here. Of hour and 35 minutes into it. You know, I get a little long-winded. You know, I'm a Southern Baptist preacher. How important is Templo when it comes to drafting players? Help me out there, Edward Austin. Templo. Y'all talking about that Tony. CJ Ruthless, what up, fam? CG. I'm sorry, CG. I keep saying CJ. I got a cousin named CJ Ellison, though. We just, it just, when I see that CG, it just runs right on into it. All right, y'all ready to get this draft started, right? Let's go. I'm entering the draft. We're not trading back or nothing. We just going straight on up. Let's see how they get down. Let's start it.
No trades?
No trades, just a straight up. Let's see who went first, second, and third. And that gives me a better representation of really if we're dealing with a good draft sequence here. Got Cam Ward, he should go first from the U. Abdul Carter, everybody's defender. Travis Hunter, there you go. Ashton Genty to the Patriots. Mason Graham is gone. Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, Trent Baalke isn't there anymore. Jahdae Barron went 6 to the Raiders. I don't think they'll do that. No, I'm on Membo.
I don't think it's Jahdae Brown. I think we will Campbell, if anything.
Yeah, I think they'll do a little something. Armand Membo went to the Jets. Jihad Campbell went to the Panthers. Shamar Stewart to the Saints, and Tyler Warren, a tight end, Chicago. I can see that. That would be a nice little pick. They've been doing some good things with their offensive line. All right, right now, our best player available.
John Campbell's not going to the Panthers. I would bet money on that.
You don't think you're going to the Panthers?
That's definitely
Campbell. I think they're looking more for they need some splash. They need some pizzazz, man. They need a big time receiver. I would say to go with Leggett. I would think they would go with Tatoria.
I know fans are clamoring for edge. Like they desperately want edge from what I researched, but they also want a wide receiver to give them because they want more than just Adam Thielen and Leggett there.
Yeah,
like wide receiver and edge is what they've been clamoring for. And the most player I've seen mocked to the Panthers is Jalen Walker. And I'm like, okay, well, you go ahead and take them and let Mike Green fall this. That's kind of how I look at it. You go ahead and take that.
I ain't mad. Go ahead, get what you want. All right, we got a plethora here. We're looking at. You got the wide receiver everybody wants. Will Campbell is high on a lot of people's boards. Malachi Starks. I think we can get the safety a little later. You got Mike Green here. These are decisions. These are the things that change boys to men, man. You got Mike Green sitting here and Will Johnson, Luther Burden, Donovan Ezeuruka. How you want to go with it?
Ezeuruka.
Ezeuruka.
He's got an anime last name. It's kind of how I put it. He's got an anime last name. It's a badass last name. Like, that's a really badass last name. Don't get me wrong.
It is. It's kind of anime.
Yeah. So, honestly, I feel like Tony's looking at this board being like, why hasn't Will Campbell been selected yet?
No.
I know you're looking at this like, why isn't he selected yet?
No, I'm just listening to you. I want to hear you guys do this.
I think
that how you draft.
Honestly, this would be a trade back scenario for me. But we're not doing trade backs, so I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
But I know people love Will Campbell, and he could be that guard and then be your future tackle next year. But I just like a pass rusher is like, that's kind of what Tony said. Like, it's just such a big need, and you can get a day one starter pass rusher being your biggest need here. Again, trade back would be the issue, would be the thing, but we're not doing that. I would almost pass on Will Campbell just to take a pass rusher instead, just because, Will Campbell has that huge upside. Well, so do these edge rushers, which is also your biggest need as well, would be your day one starters too. And I think there's going to be a run of a run of edge rushers in the first round where you're going to miss out on some of these guys. Some people are going to trade up to get these guys to make sure the edge rushers. Like I know the Commanders want an edge rusher, the Ravens want an edge rusher. There's the Cardinals want an edge rusher, the Falcons want an edge rusher. There's a few of those. I think there's just going to be a run of those, and I think you need to do your best because I don't know what's happening in the next draft with the tackles and stuff, but I know what the 49ers need now, and they need a guard. You can get a guard like Jonas Avea, Donovan Jackson, maybe even Tyler Booker. I'm not saying it will happen, but there's a potential where he might fall in the first round, and 49ers could possibly draft him and get him. But I think, or even Gray Zabel might be there. I think you get a lot more stack of options of guard, which is your biggest need. That would be your day one starter with the 43rd pick. Then get someone like Will Campbell, who, great upside, who'll be your day one starter at guard, and then maybe your future tackle. But with the edge situation, you need an edge right freaking fracking now that I think you'd miss out on that echelon of talent compared in the second round, where Jack Sawyer might be there, Princely might be there, which is great, but they're not on tiers like Mike Green or Iziraku or like some people that love James Pierce Jr. I'm not as high on everyone else is about James Pierce Jr. I'm trying to convince people so they don't yell at me. Okay, I think you need to go.
They're gonna yell at you anyway. Mike is gonna test Tony's patience.
I think I'm gonna let
tempo.
Just say edge, and then let you pick the edge. That's my opinion. But if you think Will Campbell, I'm not gonna hate you for it because he is a top 10-esque talent at you would put at guard, but then left tackle. But it's kind of like what Tony said earlier. You can get a guard later, and then deal with left tackle next year in the draft when you can do it. Guard.
Yeah, we need a center to tell you the truth, but they think Brendan is still good. Guys, I am a pragmatist. I get it done. I work in 911. I do not have time to mess around with a whole bunch of decisions. You need the best edge you can get hold of right now. It is staring you right in the face at 12. His name is Mike Green. We will figure it out. That's the way I go.
Bam. Okay, I love it. What do you think? What do you think of that pick, Tony? You'll be our commentator after we pick someone.
Listen. If you identify Mike Green as your biggest need to what's available on the board, that's the pick you got to go with, right? He offers you what Robert Saleh wants in his defensive end: speed, agility. He could run the arc. He could do everything, right? Versus the run, I want to see him how it's going to transition to the NFL level versus bigger, more athletic tackles. How he'll do versus that. Virginia from Marshall, there's a competition drop off with that, but still produce at a high level. As far as the pass rushing, I think he could have a smooth transition, but this is where we're going to see the full down territory, meaning with Green as far as a four down starter. Or is he going to come in? If they were smart, they would start him off as situational and then eventually build him up into a 4-down starter. You stick Gross Matos in, and then you rotate him out with Mike Green.
Green. He went to Lafayette High School in Williamsburg, Virginia. There was a young man way back in 1980 who went to Lafayette High School, Williamsburg, Virginia. His name was Lawrence Taylor. I don't care. I seen what and I seen how he curled up.
That's a dangerous comp.
Like he was like he folded him like a love note in the 4th grade when he barreled him over. I see this guy. He was at UVA first in the ACC. Had some trouble. Had to go to Marshall. There was a kid a long time ago went to Notre Dame first, and then he went to Florida State first. He got in some trouble. Had to go to Marshall. The Cowboys are still mad about they didn't get this young man.
Remember that.
So,
I remember that.
I don't have time to sit around and mess. I am in the business of winning Super Bowls, and we will figure everything out. Stay clear of them Virginia boys. Hey, unless you want to be a champion there, Ty Austin, unless you want to be a champion. Lawrence Taylor, Mike Tomlin, Tiki Barber, the great who else I got there? Hold on, let me get Kenny Easley. Let me get Cam Chancellor. Let me get the state of defense. My main man. Who else I got out there? Bruce Smith. You know, it's the state of defense. And from Gladys, Virginia, the great Charles Haley. If you want to know a few more of them, I'm available after this broadcast. Thank you, Ty. All right.
Austin
Edward,
Edward,
43.
Edward Austin here has a comment saying the Todd Booker offensive guard Alabama may be San Francisco's best option 11. I disagree with that. It's kind of like me and Tony are on the same board where it's like guard is not your 11th pick. You get one later on. I disagree with that. I think I would much rather see a D tackle, rather draft Will Campbell there than address a guard there that you can get. Like I said, Joseph Vea is going to be there in the second round. I mean, how many guards are available in the second round right now that would be good for this team? But what are the D tackles that are available right now?
I am going to the interior D. It doesn't say DT. Where does it say? Defensive end. Okay. Inward defensive. We got
D line. It's just not capitalized.
Is DL with a, is that a little L or I don't know what
it's supposed to be an L, but it's just not capital, I think.
But
these defensive interior. There you go.
Defensive interior. That's what it is. Okay. And
All
we got
right,
some nice picks here. I like all these. I like the top three. I wouldn't be mad either way.
I am a anti-Shamir Turner guy. I do not like Shamir Turner with the passion.
Why you don't like Shamir? Shamar.
He doesn't pop off, man. He doesn't pop off to me. I'm severely unimpressed with this guy. Isn't he undersized too? I could be wrong about that, but there's just a lot. There was nothing about this dude when I watched him play. I didn't even put the effort in to even actually do like a lot of research on the guy. When I watched him play, for like the little that I watched him, I was like, I don't want this dude. Like, there was nothing about this guy that I enjoyed.
Yeah, that 59. What happened there? Was he hurt? No, he played in 12 games. Was he?
Shamir Stewart and Shamir Turner are both the guys I do not like with passion. The only guy I like from Texas A&M is Nick Scorton. That's the only guy I like from Texas A&M.
Scorton is nice.
But I think what are the guards that are available right now?
All right, flipping back to the guard. You want a true guard or a tackle that's we're gonna make a guard?
Whatever is available. I think probably a true guard here.
Okay.
Well, you got Donovan Jackson would be I don't know why he has a tackle. That's weird. Go tackle real quick.
O tackle. There you go.
But they have Donovan Jackson as a tackle, which he could play guard. So, like, I would take Donovan Jackson here. What about
I like this
guy. I do not like the tackles in this draft. There's only one that's Home Paris. I do not like Ersbury, dude.
I like this guy, and I like this guy.
Joseph Davis down there at 90.
Yes, it would be a reach. It's a reach getting either one of the only other.
Joseph is a day one guard starting. What?
I don't know what it is, man. They don't. They feeling it. And Wyatt's dropped. He's dropped considerably. He's kind of
supposed to be a guard too.
He's kind of linky or crickety or something like that. He doesn't right. Yeah.
What about the interior?
I like the Tin Man on Wizard of Oz.
He's crickety. He's like a wooden chair.
Chair. He don't move right. It's kind of like Herman Munster is what when I look at him on film. It's like, but he's got great numbers. Look at his numbers. His numbers are incredible. Well,
if you could go check it out. If you watch him play, he tips his plays like Trent Williams does with his feet.
And Trent Williams can get down there. Trent Williams
makes up for it though. So.
Yeah. Trent Williams. You know what you gonna tell Trent?
What's the guards?
Let's go to guards. Interior offensive line.
just Jared. I would almost.
I would not mind Jared Wilson, man. But
I know, but I would love. I would draft Jared Wilson at some point too. But it's kind of like I'm gonna be kind of realistic here. They're not doing that.
Yeah,
So it's kind of like they're not touching that center. But I want to be unknown that I would totally put a flyer on that guy in the third round.
I would. He's better than what we got here, but
yeah, dude.
I guess you ain't supposed to say that, but
my vote is Donovan Jackson. Because I think out of Ohio State, I don't know why he's marked as a tackle, but he's supposed to be a guard and he could play.
He actually played tackle when what's his name got hurt.
When Josh Simmons got hurt, did he? Yeah, he's dominant. I love him a lot. So either you want to take Donovan Jackson here or a D tackle. Oh, you took Donovan Jackson. Okay,
it's
right,
done.
So we're good now. We got a starting guard. This
all right. We're at 75, and as far as players available, they got Kyle Williams, who Breezy loves, but dude, can't take a Kyle Williams.
Can't take Kyle Williams forever.
The kid is good. The kid is good. There's no doubt about it. He's good. You just can't give him number 10. You can't give him number 10.
No, dude, not even in the name, too.
And Mac Jones already got that, so he's gonna be okay.
Wide receiver named Kyle Williams. No.
Woo. And he'd be back there on punt.
Go okay. Just go for Tony for some R&R. Go watch the clip again, man. You're like, okay,
man, that thing hurts.
Somebody did that recently, man. It hurt. It hurt so much.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
I think you got to go D tackle here, 110%. It's either I would go Alex Collins because you need that eater up guy in the middle there, and then at that point. With Evan Anderson, you can do something later on with some of the D tackles we do enjoy, like Pegues might be back there, I believe. You got CJ West might fall there. Is CJ West? Where's CJ? Pegues is at 100 and something there. I like Pegues a lot.
I like this. I like Ty Roberts. We're gonna, if he's available later, way later.
Scroll up, Tarrerdome.
What you got?
I like Alfred Collins, Joshua Farmer. Those are my two guys for sure, without a doubt. But I think you need that run-stopping D tackle that can eat up two guys, and that's Alfred Collins to me here. But that's me.
What do you think, Tony? You're a Florida State guy. Joshua Farmer or Alfred Collins?
I like Farmer. The knock against Collins for me is he's over 6'3", 6'4". He's 6'5" defensive tackle. I'm not a fan of the height. I've always been – that's been my thing. Like, I don't like tall. I mean, DeForest Buckner was a unicorn. DeForest Buckner was a unicorn, in my opinion, because he was tall. He was 6'6". He was a big defensive tackle. My man always called for double teams, stayed low, caused hell in that defensive front. Good. Can you just go to best available, like total, not just defensive tackles?
Copy that.
Let's see something. Just scroll down just a little bit.
Mason Taylor. I love Mason Taylor. I think Mason Taylor is tailored. Get so I did there? I think he's tailored for the 49ers.
Martinez.
Or none. A 49er tight end.
Josh Farmer.
Yeah, so that's where you're at. You want to be who'd you decide to go with?
Joshua Farmer, Alex Collins is two for D tackle.
What's your gut telling you?
I mean,
Collins is ranked higher, but are they going to rank him higher? Collins is ranked higher, but he's taller.
It's too much of an.
Farmer is not too far behind. It's not that far of a reach. I think you're getting about the same value in terms of
I love Joshua Farmer. He's a draft crush of mine. Tony likes Joshua Farmer a lot too, and I mean,
get your crush.
I'm not Bob. You guys make your picks. I'll just tell you like things.
I would say Joshua Farmer. I guess then if he could play, if Joshua Farmer can eat up guards and centers and stuff like that, I think he's more of like that one-on-one between like the inside outside kind of type guy for me, one-on-one kind of type dude. But I think you could find a guard center eater probably later on. I don't know what's Pegues's size. Isn't Pegues more of a pass rusher?
Pegues is like 6'2", 6'2.5", like 325 pounds.
He's a fire hydrant.
You got to go. This pick should be your pass rusher. And
then it'd be Joshua Farmer then for sure.
You think the Farmer's a better pass rusher than
Alex Collins? 110%.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you think this is your draft.
I'm without a doubt confident that Joshua Farmer, because Joshua Farmer has a bag. He actually has a bag of moves that he uses. He's been double teamed before and done some Aaron Donald. I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald.
No, 100%.
He has that move that allows you to cut up in the middle. I'm a big fan of Joshua Farmer a lot.
I tell you what, we're gonna get Josh Farmer, but I tell you what, man, take a look at this kid, Tony, when you get a chance, man.
I already know about him.
Roberts.
I already know about him.
Look at those scores.
That's Chris Koseric's Kerry Hyder.
This guy, man, I'm telling you, man. I don't know why he's so far down the board. Nobody's talking about him, but
because they don't know what position he plays. They don't know what he is. He's too light for a defensive tackle. He's too big for a defensive end.
Kyle Williams falling down the
find somewhere for him. I will find it. Okay, we're at 100. Still got Kyle Williams on the board. He would be incredible. But I tell you what, man, it's time for your little crushes that you wanted. If Harold Fanning Jr. is available, you've got to get this tight end. You got to get him.
Is Cam Scatterbo still available?
Scatterboo. Let me see.
I think he's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, he would have been. He's
I would say he probably been more than the 100th pick. Now, that like the more research I've done on it, and just like he'd be worth that 100 pick. But Fanning Jr., he's worth that 100 pick to me as well.
Scatterboo. Hey, wait, he must have went before.
Way early. Jesus Christ.
He done shot up the board here.
He usually goes like in the third round.
Yeah, he went to Seattle.
Bastards. Of course, the freaking Seattle Seahawks.
He gets very animated, Tony. I was listening to him at work one night, and who snaked you? I think it was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta Falcons, and they took a linebacker I wanted. I went back and watched it, and I was like, who took my guy? Who took my guy? And I was like, you're not supposed to take him yet. And it was like a huge reach. And I was like, Atlanta, you bitch. I was so excited. I was so upset. Messed up my entire draft plan. We did.
And I'm typing. I'm like,
and it was like a super, like, it was like a huge reach that you don't see in mock drafts, man. It was bad.
I want Scatterbo as well. He's gone. He went 50. We're gonna be facing him 2 times a year, bro. Farmer highlight. He is awesome. Okay, we're getting some.
We got guard, tackle, D tackle, and edge. So like the second D tackle still left. Linebacker, corner, safety, and like that third running back and stuff, and then like that third tight end. But if you want to go best player available, draft crush guy who's just going to be like if Kittle ever gets hurt, I think Fanning Jr. would I just love Fanning Jr. so much that I know there's more. I feel like linebacker almost is more important than that third tight end, or that third corner, or safety. Like there's more pressing needs. But Fanning Jr. to me could potentially be like not only the best tight end in this draft class, but like he could be a future top 5 tight end. And I'm obsessed.
I love the kid too. I do. I think we're looking at something close to a wrong that was done a long time ago with Delaney Walker. I think this guy has that ability, not the traditional sense of tight end the way you would think, like 6'5", 250, but just get it done. Somehow this guy's always open. I think he's a ball player. I do. I know it's a Bowling Green, but he is nice, man. He has some games.
Yeah, he's got it, man. Ellison says, you're telling me if Scalabo was there, you'd take him at 100? Just because, yes, I would, and this is why. Because I know that he would be a day one starter. I know the 49ers would implement him into the offense day one. And like I talked about before, I know he's a good pass protector. He would help out Brock Purdy. It would help out the play action. It would help out in short downs. He would instantly make multiple things on the offense more disguisable, a lot better scheme, a lot better. And that's what I want to look for day one. If I can get that with the 100th pick and it happens to be Scatterbo, I would. Fannin Jr., that is a luxury pick, if you ask me. Like, I love Fannin Jr., but you got Kittle. You have your second tight end who's a blocking tight end. Like, Fannin Jr. is someone I'm obsessed with, someone I love. But Scatterbo, though, would, logically speaking, would reinforce the offense significantly more day one than Fannin Jr. would day one. And so I would almost – it would be tough. I'm not saying it would be an easy decision because it's between logic and draft crush and high potential. And that's where it's kind of like you get stuck on. So I would almost take Scatterbo over Fannin Jr. because of the logical side, the Spock side of it all is what I call it. The Spock side of it.
The Spock side. Look at that.
Spock side of it. It's kind of what I would do there because you want to protect Brock Purdy. Do you not?
You
do you not want your offense to be better? Like that's what I'm trying to convince myself of Scatterbo.
Protect him and scheme better. I guarantee the kid is better. So you want to go Fannin Jr. right here? Scatterbo
exactly. Fannin Jr. because Scatterbo's not there, so we're going Fannin Jr.
Fannin Jr.
And I want to hear Tony's opinion because it looks like he was like, what do you think of that? Fannin Jr. between Scatterbo.
Oh, I was doing because there's two players coming up that I really like. But what was I going to say about Fannin Jr.? Yeah, the tape. If you watch him, production, catches per game, yards per game, scores, touchdowns, all that stuff. It stands out, right? Like he dominated at Bowling Green. So, like, my thing is this: watching him, he's gonna transition. The one thing that I would question about Fannin Jr. and probably the reason why he's dropping is his testing scores. He ran a 4.71 as a tight end. That's a little when you're talking about his skill set, the line up wide as a receiver, line up in the slot, create separation as a 4.71 tight end. Can he do it at the next level versus a more faster defenders, linebackers, safeties, corners when he has to line up against that? Other than that, if he could show that he could create separation and get open, the other stuff is there. His talent will just kick in. But he's got to be able to show that he could do that to have the production that he had in college to make it somewhat transition into the next level.
Okay. Here I'm thinking safety. And the Vikings have taken my personal crush, Andrew Makuba Gooden Jr. But there's another one out there.
97 too. Honestly, I think Makuba probably would have been the pick at 100. It was Scatterbo or Fannin Jr. there, probably Makuba, just because at 100 you get a starting free safety who's
playmaking.
To be honest with you, that's the route I pretty much would have went. I would have took. I didn't know Makuba was still on the board, but I would have taken the safety there.
Because I was saying he was taking like 3 picks.
Yeah, he was taking at 97.
Oh.
Yeah, and if he was, I would have
took. If Makuba was there, he was. Hey, Tony.
See, but like this is where it's at. This is why it's so tough to do shit like this, because the pick right after you could have selected a starting guard.
Tate Radledge.
Tate Radledge.
Tate Radledge has been a lot of hype. I've had a lot of people from the Wolfpack bring up Tate Radledge as a guy, and I don't think I've ever seen him play. I just know his mullet. That's it.
He's solid. He's a solid guard. He's bring your lunch pail to work, blue collar, fight you all through the whistle. He's that type of dude. Like if this was Jim Harbaugh's team, he would have been the first pick. That's the type of player he is. So that's someone I would have went. I mean, Jackson's good, but this is where it's tough to like project, because you don't know what the hell's going to happen. But it's just showing you that you could potentially find starting talent on the interior offensive line and potentially definitely the defensive line going into day 3.
Yeah.
That's how deep this draft is.
I agree. I think like the second to the 4th round is just filled with 49ers needs and day 1 starters.
No doubt.
Interior guard, D tackle, edge.
Yes.
it's filled with those. So I
Tyler, pull up your best available real quick. I just want to see something.
Best available. Here we
Kyle
go.
Williams.
Kyle Williams is still there. If you want him, this is incredible value.
No, don't do
Man,
it.
it is valuable. That is a pick at 113 because he's ranked at 63. You're going to shoot up the board. You're going to bring your average up.
Every time Kyle Williams drops a ball, every time Kyle Williams makes a mistake, he's going to be on a microscope. Unlike
I know,
as if
man.
he's a first round draft pick. Every 49ers fans be like, I told you shouldn't draft a guy named Kyle Williams. I told you. He'd be on a microscope like no other and too much pressure.
You ain't got to tell me.
Can't do it.
I know. And then you're going to be second guessing yourself every time you be like, his name was Kyle Williams. It's like getting a kicker and you're in Buffalo getting a kicker named Norwood. How could you do that? How could you be so stupid? 10 years later.
I am dying to see who's picking right now.
We're all just picking together, but I seen Tarrerdome just let me make all the picks. I think he should just go ahead and make this one here.
I'm dying to see who gets selected right now. I'm just going to sit here on silent, and I'm going to see who gets selected.
Is there somebody in particular here? There's someone in particular here you absolutely love, huh?
I need a free safety. Billy Bowman Jr., University of Oklahoma, can go. I like that.
Oh, Tarrerdome, why'd you do that? I was going to
What?
No, you could have taken him. Just don't click it because I wanted to show you there was a grouping of players that could have been instant, like whether it's special teams, situational pass rusher, nickel defense players that would have been pretty damn solid picks, but we passed it.
Who is those players? We see who drafted them. When did they go?
Wait, let's see if they're still available. One, two. All right, so number 117, Quadarius Robinson is one of them. Jameer Caldwell.
University of Oregon. He's a interior defensive. I don't like those Pac-10 guys.
He's a run guy. He's a former running back that has agility that's insane, and he's a run-stuffing defensive tackle.
Did he transfer from somewhere?
I don't recall off the top of my head.
Okay. I don't like those guys. Where's he from?
I will tell you this: the one dude that I probably would have taken without hesitation is the guy who went to the Green Bay Packers at 124.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
He's more of a safety. No, he's okay.
No. This dude, if you want a fight, this dude reminds me of a former Kansas cornerback. Let's see if you can name that former Kansas quarterback.
A corner from Kansas?
Yep.
I really don't know.
Physical guy?
DJ Reed is Kansas, is a different Kansas. If you're saying DJ Reed.
Physical, trash talker, in your face.
A corner?
Yes.
Corner.
Oh. I was thinking but who you got?
You want to know who it is?
Yeah, who's it? What are you talking about?
Aqib Talib.
Aqib Talib.
Oh my God, dude!
Oh, I like Aqib Talib. I love Aqib Talib.
This is this dude, and the minute I I love this dude. Was at the combine when he was doing his interviews and talking to the media. Oh my God, this kid is so confident. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He believes in himself. Then I said, I gotta watch him. So I started watching him.
I like it.
Bro, if you're a corner, you would love this dude's mentality and how he's wired. He's the ultimate competitor. He fears nobody, won't back down from nobody, and that's it.
I'm definitely going back and look at him. You invoked a great name there, man. I love Aqib Talib, who had a great podcast. But Aqib caught the trouble. Something happened. We ain't gonna go over that. We ain't gonna bring a man's stuff up.
And just real quick, the one defensive end,
he's great.
The guy I really like. I like Kobe Bryant. There's a couple of dudes in there, Caldwell too. But the defensive end from defensive end outside linebacker from Alabama, Q Robinson, has off the field issues. So I doubt the 49ers would take him. But he was suspended from the team under Nick Saban, came back with the new coaching staff. He had a DUI that involved an accident. No one was, I think, injured or anything like that or killed from it. But I will tell you this, the talent, the raw talent and skill set that this kid has for someone that has been playing not a lot of football, bro, he screams something. And I'm not going to say the name who he screams, but he screams somebody that wore this uniform before.
Alden Smith.
Yeah.
Mello Dotson, if he's still available, that's my corner out of Kansas State. Out of that. People like Kobe Bryant more. I like Mello Dotson a lot more than him. Mello Dotson is a pick six monster, and he is not
Those
there.
top two corners are both good as well.
Very good.
The top two corners left on the board.
Right there.
Riley. And
one's a slot guy.
And Riley.
I know the 49ers looked into Elijah Uzzy. I know they.
I'm gonna tell you who grew on me, Wolfie.
Donald Fortune.
Oh, Donald Fortune. Man, look at his PFF grades. Oh, Donald Fortune can play, man.
I see no film of this guy, but we've drafted this guy like every single time.
I know we always get on Donald Fortune.
No film of this dude.
I think he's gonna be able to play 6'1". He's smallish, but he is feisty. He's a South Carolina guy, and he grew on me. He definitely grew on me. He grew on me.
So go to the top of the list, all players.
Oh,
look at that, dude. He's still there, man. Kyle Williams is still there.
Something going on with that Kyle Williams, and it's not just us.
It's not just us.
It's not just us. Something just ain't right. I don't know what it is.
He's a second round talent, but did you see that NFC Championship game? I think here you got to go D tackle, right? You want to get your second D tackle?
Okay.
I know our running back is still, hopefully our running back that we like is still there, but who do you think here is because I know people like Barrow Jr. from Miami. You probably know more about him than I do.
Love the U. I like Ty Robinson's energy. But hey, Simeon Barrow can carry the mail, man. He's gonna give you what he's got. 6'3", 290, a little bit smallish for the interior, but he gives you a lot of production. 21 hurries as an interior. That's very, very good. 7 sacks this year. He was carrying the mail, man. Had some good ball games against Louisville. And some fall offs, man. Did we lose that one? No, we lost against Georgia Tech. We couldn't handle the run at Georgia Tech. Had a bit of a problem with the Georgia Tech's quarterback was just gouging us, man. He was gouging us. He wasn't Lamar, but he was having a Lamar type day. Georgia Tech kept it on the ground all day, and they just they got us, man. They knocked us out of national championship contention. But he's very, very solid. He may not start, but be a good rotational piece. You can't go wrong with him.
What about Riley Mills? I know people like Riley Mills a lot.
Riley Mills.
I know John Chapman likes Riley Mills. I know that.
Didn't quite jump off the screen to me at 6'5", a bit tall for the interior. And you see what happened to who they lose in the national championship series with? Was it?
I'm talking about
Georgia? Maybe they lost to somebody.
I don't remember either.
Ohio State. They lost to Ohio State in the championship game. Yeah. He didn't jump off the screen to me. None of the Ohio State. They had a guy in the secondary that did, but You know, they got to the national championship, and somebody had to be responsible for that. This makes it easier for him to be more of a 3-4 defensive end spot due to his versatility in his build, length to play more of a defensive end spot, weight to hold enough on the inside. So, you know, they're looking at him as kind of a tweener. But
need someone. So I mean, it's too soon to take Ty Robinson. Then who's best available right now? Then that we need, because we need linebacker still, a corner.
My linebacker is he a little later on. He's projected.
Teddy Buchanan, right?
You know, I like Teddy.
So then wide receiver would be a bad option. We got the tight end already.
Well, so you know the wide receiver you got to get then.
What about corner?
All right, let's go to cornerback. Those are our guys there.
I would almost
Riley.
I like is Noel Williams is taken, right? Noel Williams, I think would be an absolute steal, but I don't think he's available. Can you check?
Corner or
he's not there. Yeah, he's a corner. Noel Williams. I think he led college in interceptions. I could be wrong there, but he had a lot. He has the instincts and stuff like that. He's a phenomenal corner in my eyes. I think he would be absolute steal the 4th round. So I think with the linebacker you want to get later, and the running back, I think we can get the next pick. I like Monaghay from Rutgers. Monaghay. He's my late 4th round.
That's my guy too. And I think we can get him. There he is.
Yeah, we can get him
Monaghay. Yeah.
So linebacker set. We got the safety we need. We need to get D tackle later, but I feel like we can get that with probably Ty Robinson later. So Ty Robinson, Teddy Buchanan, and then if you get a corner here, running back, and we have the 148th pick after that, and then the 160. Then it's a drop off from there. So we're going to miss out on one of these positions of need.
So where are you going to go? Well, who we got to get right now?
Man, I would almost go. It's just all right. Who's best available right now?
Best available
out of the corner. I think the corner is the soonest one. And we do need that third corner. We might miss out on a running back though. That's gonna hurt me a little bit.
They ain't got the corners down here. Let me see.
He's at 160 and 162. Those two corners.
Oh wow.
I mean, you don't believe in trading back. I would trade back and get another like 6 to make sure you get a guy here. But let's go ahead. I think you gotta go corner. I mean, what linebackers? Oh, no, that's right. Never mind. I keep saying linebackers. I know what that is. This one's tough.
Hey, if you know, we ain't got to go with my guy. He's gonna be there.
Oh,
228. But if you can if you feel that Kobe King, Cody Simon.
No, we're gonna. Danny Stutson's one of my draft crush linebackers, but same thing with Teddy Buchanan. But I think Teddy Buchanan might be there at 227. He might be there at 227. It's a bit of a reach, but I think you got to go corner here. I think you got to go for one of the corners for sure. Just because after that, it's a huge drop off. I don't really know if there's anybody else. Fortune is even at 171, who I've never seen film on. So I just know that we draft him.
We always draft Fortune. We always do.
And after that, I don't think there's another corner that I'm in love with after these two, Riley and Huzzy. After that, it's just a drop off. And I think you got to go with either one of these guys. For sure.
He looks like the best guy. He's 5'10", 195.
And I think Riley's also 5'10". I think he's short too. 6 foot.
6 foot, 195. 2 more inches.
So probably I'd probably go Riley here.
All right, let's go. We're going with Riley.
Because Lenore can play slot if you need him to. And he can play, I think Quincy Lane can play inside and outside.
All right, we're back at the clock at 147.
All right, so we got to be methodical here. We need we need that second D tackle. Our running back is still available. Our linebacker, we're going to take a risk on later, right? That's what you want to do. Or unless you want to,
We could have traded back. We still got Simeon and Ty on the board.
What's that trade off?
I say go Simeon.
Simeon here?
Yeah.
You don't want Ty Robinson possibly later?
Simeon's probably a better pick. That's 30. It's at 31 spaces in front of Ty. So
take Simeon here for sure. We need 2 D tackles. You got to come out of this draft with 2 D tackles, regardless. You need 2 D tackles.
Simeon's your guy.
So, now here, I say we make sure we get our running back if he's still there.
Going to the running back. Kyle.
Anand
guy. A bit of a reach, but he don't fumble.
Fingers crossed, Teddy Buchanan. Fingers crossed, Teddy Buchanan's still there. Fingers crossed, baby. Is he still there?
Oh, he got to be there.
Oh, my God. Do we risk it to take the biscuit and him not being there? Oh, he's not there.
He went away.
Damn.
He went away. Who got him?
Oh.
Let's see who got. Oh, they got him.
Who got Teddy Buchanan? I knew we should trade it up. Like we should have been like, let's trade
up. Who took my guy? They took him way early.
Yeah, I think in this back towards the 6th and 7th round, everyone like reaches and they just kind of get their guy, which makes sense, right? But
dang, but 228.
Who took him? I don't see him anywhere.
There he is. He's a Raider.
22. He's a Raider. Oh, he just wins. Oh my God.
Oh.
I have to ask Tony, what would you have done in that 4th, 5th round area that we just kind of sped through real quick? What would be your situation of that there? Who
would I have taken compared to who you took?
Because we went corner 138, made sure we got our 3rd corner. Then we went D tackle to make sure we got our 2nd D tackle. And at 160,
who did you take as the 2nd defensive tackle?
We drafted
Barrow from the U.
The U.
Okay.
This is a very solid. I like everybody in here.
I don't know Barrow's film, so I don't even know, but
I mean,
I would have traded up Teddy Buchanan in the 7th though. Made sure you got him. But
now, what pick are you on?
We're back at 227. We're in the 7th round. We have 3 7th round picks.
I would use all
3 picks traded up for Buchanan.
You still have to get a running back, a linebacker, and what?
We picked up. We got Manan guy from Rutgers, the kid that doesn't fumble.
Okay, we need the only thing we need left right now, I think, is that secondary wide receiver, another wide receiver, maybe a linebacker, and then
we need.
That's it. We got safety. We got 2 D tackles. We got the edge. We got the corner. We just
all right. So now what you should do is you should really you're at the point of the draft where now you need to start separating. Now you need to start making your undrafted priority free agent list. Okay, because you have 3 picks left. Now it's going to be a crapshoot. So right now, what goes on probably in the war rooms, they start calling these guys, hey, if you're not selected, come sign with us, blah, 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 whatever. So now what you need to do is look at your best available and identify your needs compared to what's your best available and see what is the best route to go. Like there's 2 linebackers right there I just saw. Could come in and definitely improve 3. Improve your special teams and potentially compete for one of the 2 open linebacker spots that are currently open on this team. So who's your best? Pull up your best available total.
I disagree with Edward. He's saying he's pretty much saying you got to always do don't pay attention to rankings. But when you're playing the board, it's different. Like for example, if we would have got all the guys we wanted if we were doing a trade up. So if we took that 20, we knew it was a risk with the 227th pick. We knew that. We knew that there's potential he wasn't going to be there. But if this was like a trade, if we were doing trades in here, easily would have traded all
Malachi Moore
and would have made sure we got
There's a lot of solid players right here on this board right now. So what you got to ask yourself is, are we just taking shots on players or are we trying to take players that we need? That's where you need to evaluate. That's what you need to decide.
My priority is the player you need. We really do need
Larry Kruger guy is Benda. Larry Kruger loves that linebacker Benda. He's supposed to be like a drafted guy. He's obsessed with this linebacker.
All right.
Which one?
Benda from
Texas?
I think it's from Texas. I could be wrong.
Damn, that wasn't even one of the three I just said.
No, I'm throwing out options. I'm not saying like ignore you or anything.
No. I'm just saying. Let's just focus on the linebackers right now that we have it up. All right. Mondin, which is a 3-year starter from Georgia, tested phenomenal, has experience as a starter, great athlete, can play sideline to sideline. Played
he's the fastest linebacker, isn't he?
Huh?
I think he's the fastest linebacker in this draft.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the times of the 40s and shit like that. He's a great linebacker.
From Georgia.
Then if you go back to the list, you have the Nick Martin from Oklahoma State, who I absolutely think is probably one of the best downhill linebackers in this draft. You also had, I think, Asante from where's he from? Auburn, who's another great sideline to sideline linebacker. Has bloodlines into the league. Larry Asante was his brother. So he knows what it takes. He knows the commitment. He's been bouncing things off his brother and stuff like that. That's another guy. So there's still talent in the linebacking core. So if that's a route you want to go there. I also saw Diggs from Syracuse. That is a shot that personally you could double down at defensive end because right now, who do we have? Nick Bosa and Green from Marshall. That's all we have. And you turn Gross Matos. You have Sam A, but who knows what he's going to be. Drake Jackson, his career is in jeopardy. I'm tired of using that one guy that they keep hanging around all year. I forgot his damn name. Huh? Alex Barrett. I'm over him. You need to bring youth in here. You want to try to bring in a project that you could try to develop. Diggs is fast. He's a great pass rusher. He's a good pass rusher, has the skills, has the agility, has the motor, things that you want to see, tested well. Take a shot with him here. Who else did I see on that list off the top of my head?
What's his name? Mondin Jr. has injury issues.
Does he?
Durability issues. That's what my.
Who was the linebacker you said was best down the hill?
Durability red
Nick
flag. 3 consecutive years he's had.
What were his injuries?
Foot and ankle injuries in 3 consecutive college.
They weren't soft tissues.
Nah.
I think you should go. You need the downhill linebacker because you have Fred Warner to do the coverage stuff. And Greenlaw was your downhill linebacker, so I think you need to get someone that replaces that. That's who's sooner? Who's more sooner? The
Mondin is first. Asante is a good linebacker. Pull him up.
Who was the edge you talked about?
Diggs. This kid's. I mean, he's not. I saw this PFF chart. He doesn't appear to be good with their grading system. I'm not a fan of their grading system. But
really late.
He's a sideline to sideline, run around, chase you down type of linebacker. Diggs, that was the guy that I was talking about.
Let's get so who's sooner, Asante or Diggs?
I think you could probably go back to your best available.
So if we give away both those guys, I think I'd be happy then.
I mean, you could double down, bro. You could even go back and take another defensive tackle. You could take another defensive end and then close it up with a linebacker. Running backs are a dime a dozen. You could sign one as an undrafted free agent. This team is phenomenal at doing that.
You say that now, but we already drafted running back.
Who'd you draft?
Oh, we got Monangai.
Oh, you took Monangai. Okay. No, Monangai's good. He's from Rutgers. I'm
solid, dude. I love some Monangai.
Yeah, man.
He's a winner.
Asante, then, right? Here?
I would pull up Diggs.
Diggs. Go back. It's down more. Oh, no.
He's from Syracuse.
Diggs, right there. That's an interesting name.
Okay. 8 sacks. Yeah.
8 hits, 28 hurries. Okay, that's not bad. 6'5", 261.
261.
Was run stopping ability?
28 hurt. Hey, sound
I'll
like a
take
player to me. Yeah.
Take that guy right there. Yeah, take
Yeah.
him. All right, I like that. I'll take that.
Yeah, I know, you know.
And then this one right here.
I gotta go. I gotta go with my guy. Ty
Dude,
Robinson is here.
Triple the D tackles, dude. I'm all for it, man. We need D tackle depth.
Yeah, I like this guy's motor, man. I think he reminds me a little bit of the Cowboy. He's got a presence about him.
We don't need Cowboys on this team. I was joking. Yeah, Dallas Cowboys. Yeah.
No, Justin Smith.
All right. Then if there's a Asante there, is Asante available or is he gone?
Take one of those linebackers.
We need a linebacker with his last pick for sure. There
Hey, Jalen Walker.
K. Madrano? Oh, hold on. From USA. Is he? Hold on.
Eugene Asante's here. He's light, but hey, he's our Mr. Irrelevant.
So is Dre Greenlaw.
Yep.
Kane Madrano from UCLA ran a 4.46. Dude's pretty fast. He's 6'3", 222 pounds.
Okay.
What's his situation?
6'3", 230.
6'7" run defense, good pass grade. 63 tackles. And only 14 of those are assists. His 27 missed tackles. That's not great.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I guess I like that speed a lot, though.
They could have had almost 30 more tackles. Well, we'll take him and get him a tackling dummy.
Get him a tackling dummy. And at home, that tackling dummy. So I guess what? Madrano or Asante? One of the two. Asante fits the Greenlaw bill, right?
Asante's a little bit lighter. I think he's at 219. But he's got some productivity there. 35 tackles. Did he play all 12? He played 12 games with just 35 tackles, 14 assists, and 9 of them he missed. Ugh. He had a better year the year before at 59 tackles, 16 of them with solos, with only 5 missed.
I think you get the guy with less missed tackles, right? I mean, even though I like Madrano and I like his, his athleticism and his metrics, but the missed tackles thing is really kind of that's bad. That's pretty bad.
Okay, we'll go to Santi. Mr. Irrelevant. Grading our draft.
Pa. Will we get a B?
Got some good picks. Probably a solid B. Yep.
A solid B.
A solid B.
Now, what is your favorite pick and what is your least favorite pick? Because we all have those. Like, oh, we probably should have done this instead after the draft. What is your favorite pick in this draft?
Favorite pick will be, I got to go with Mike Green. I think Mike Green going to ball out. Least favorite, probably Asante.
Probably Asante. Yeah. That's good at the very end. At least it's at the very end there.
Yeah.
My favorite would probably be the Mike Green as well. I mean, just you got your guy. It's between Membu and Mike Green for me at 11. So for me, it's also Mike Green. My least favorite is probably the cornerback position of round 4, just because I feel like it was a toss up. Like, do you go? I feel like I was stuffed in a corner at that point of like position of need. Didn't know exactly what, especially if we're not trading up. I was kind of like, I'm not the biggest, Quincy Riley guy either, but there's only 2 guys I liked that was available at the time, and I felt like I had shoehorned that issue there. So that's probably my least favorite in that situation, to be honest with you. Edward says you only drafted 1 offensive lineman. Hey, you got the guard. We got plenty of depth. I think we got plenty of depth guards. You got Barch. You got we didn't draft center because we knew that wasn't going to happen. You have Barch. You have Nugent. You have Zakel. And all those guards and center potential guys. You have the depth. You just need that starter. Maybe a swing tackle probably would be important, but I feel like that's something you can get. the swing tackles that the 49ers have looked at are all like 7th round undrafted tackles that are huge from what I've seen. So I'm not particularly like, I think you just need to get your starting guard. And after that, I don't think it's a pressing issue to get the depth at that point. The depth that you desperately need is D tackle and edge. Way more important than offensive lineman. If you get your starting guard, I think you did your job this draft, in my opinion. Edwards like, no, the first 6 picks is definitely both the offensive and defensive linemen. Fannin Jr. was on the board, man. We couldn't let that slide.
I got to get that tight end at 100. Yeah, he was a 3rd rounder. I was thinking we could get the tight end a little later with my main man Jalen Conyers, but if Fannin's available, you just got to take him. He's right at 103.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I was like, maybe Fannin, like if you remove the draft pressure of it, you're not wrong. Like Gunnar Helm, I think it's like a discount Mason Taylor in the situation. Good blocker, can do all the things, just not as athletic as Mason Taylor is. And then, like you said, Conyers could have got later. Like if there's things you could have done, and that with that 100th pick, probably got an offensive lineman or whatever, or D lineman for sure. But I mean, Fannin Jr., the upside there, especially with how old Kittle is right now. And Fannin, I'm not saying is a great blocker or anything, but he does block too. So I think you can. It's someone who's going to be your 3rd tight end that you could definitely develop and could definitely fill in for Kittle in the passing situation if he ever got hurt. So I just think that Fannin would be a great project and be a day 1 receiving tight end for you. The upside is just it was just too much to pass up.
Because right now we're looking at that. What's that tight end we signed?
Mason Klein?
No. We got a free agent guy. He's just a blocker.
Farrell? Luke Farrell.
Yeah, Farrell. Yeah, and you know, Farrell's not gonna. If something was to happen to Kittle, you think Farrell can get in there and do anything?
No, for sure.
What up, William Roberts? People coming in the chat, man. What's up? We're at 37 viewing right now. It's good to see y'all. Edward Austin. How much would you invest in drafting either Luke Lachey, tight end Iowa, or Jackson Hawes, tight end Georgia Tech? Haven't really looked at the Georgia Tech kid. I know they mostly run it because they ran it down the U's throat, pause, and caused us a loss. But Luke Lachey, hey man, a tight end from Iowa is always valuable. A tight end from Iowa is like a linebacker from Penn State. This is kind of what they do. They fall off the tree. Tight end. I bet I ain't even got to look at his dimensions. I bet he's 6'5", 6'5", 235 pounds. I bet it. I bet it right now. And he got blonde hair and he likes corn. I ain't even got to look at him. You said, sure. Oh yeah, he a tight end at Iowa. I already know exactly what he looked like. And
Luke Lackey
can play.
Luke Lackey, I like his receiving ability. He's not the best blocker, believe it or not, but he is a very good receiving tight end in my eyes. And if you got him in the 7th round, I wouldn't mind that. Late 6th kind of type guy for me. But the Georgia Tech Hawes guy, he is the best blocking tight end in this draft, bar none. The best blocking tight end in this draft.
And he's got a very high IQ. He transferred him from Yale, I believe. He's very high IQ, dude.
Look at Luke. Look at Luke. 6'6", 247. I told you.
You're not wrong. No, you're close enough. It's not better, actually. But
I told you.
Hawes is like you'd have like a 6 offensive lineman you got right there. Like you would have if you drafted Hawes and you had Luke Farrell and you had George Kittle, you would have bar none the best blocking tight end group in the NFL, bar none, easily. You already kind of do with Luke Farrell and George Kittle, but if you had Hawes on top of that, you are insanely. You have like the best run game possibly with if Farrell and Hawes are on the field at the same time, they're running that ball. Okay, they're going to do. They have 7 offensive linemen out there at that point. That's what you're gonna do when you have
that's
that.
what you're supposed to do, man. That's what you know.
So Hans,
Bill Belichick.
Right.
Back in, I think it was 2000. I want to say around 9 when he had Gronk and Hernandez before he killed somebody. Now Hernandez actually did it. Man, they were changing the game because the New York Jets had really gotten very solid on the corners. And in mid-season, Bill Belichick changes the game because they had Revis on one side and Cromartie on the other. So it was stifling kind of your outside threats. So what Bill did was minimize it, bring it inside, and they would just match up nightmares for everybody. Gronk and Hernandez, man, it just looked like beautiful football. And he was either gonna just shove it down your throat, pause, or your linebackers couldn't cover that. The safeties were getting pushed off. They were pushing them in the head. And Hernandez was very, very athletic. They complemented each other really, really well. They blocked. They did whatever you needed done, man. And against these teams who are going to have really superior athleticism on the corners, man, move the game inside. And as the old adage was, hit them where they ain't. Hit them where they ain't. They couldn't handle it.
Khalil Callie says that there's no way we're taking that linebacker to take that long dress linebacker. They would if Teddy Buchanan is actually on the board at like 220. If he's like a 222, 200 kind of type guy, they would wait that long for a Teddy Buchanan. If he is like a 7-6 round type guy, they would wait that long because he would be their guy that they want to get. So it depends upon how the board plays out. But if you're playing the board like we are, like I said, if we were trading up, we would have made sure with those 3 7th round picks traded up to get Teddy Buchanan for sure. That's the thing. Like we would have took who's the linebacker that we Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma? Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma probably would have been an option. I think we would have took there. Maybe Cody, I don't know, somebody like Cody Simon we would have took at that 143 if we knew. But we knew Teddy Buchanan was going to be back there, so we could play with that because of the board. And again, if we could trade up, we would have got him. But we knew the risk of falling back to 2027 with if there was going to be
he was right there. And I think we missed about like four picks,
4 or 5 picks, yeah.
And I think they're investing a little bit. I'm getting the assertion, I'm getting the feeling that they're going to be really looking at winners to make that step this year. I don't know if that's
and Bethune. They like Bethune a lot. They think Bethune is a Greenlaw type kind of a player, likes to hit and stuff like that. But Buchanan, though, I think if
Buchanan is the guy,
they're going to trade up for that guy for sure. Like they're going to make sure they get their guy in that 6th round to maybe 5th round possibly by getting rid of those 7th round picks. So
he did an interview too with Big Brad, what's Brad's name? The guy that likes offensive.
Brad Graham.
Graham. A really good interview with him. He cut his hair too. He don't look exactly like Fred anymore. He looked kind of like Fred before and after. Yeah, you cut that hair. That's 2 pounds of non-drag.
So Tony, I gotta ask. We don't have our draft up right now, but what would be your favorite pick and your least favorite pick of our mock draft? I got my dog inside, but hold on. But go ahead. Look at.
I'll pull it up for you.
I mean,
that was a draft a bit ago. That was 27th. That was today. Okay. Can you see that?
I would say I really like the Green pick. I think Green could be the pick if everything checks out. That's where we're at with that. But on the other hand, like what's scaring me a little bit is I've been hearing rumors about potentially the 49ers and Eagle agreeing to a trade for Bryce Huff. Now, if they bring in a pass rusher like Bryce Huff, who worked with Saleh with the New York Jets and had production under Saleh with the New York Jets, that changes the whole trajectory. So, but what I like the Green pick as long as everything checks out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Hey, there we go. Sweet. Green pick I like a lot too. I think that's like my favorite pick as well. I got a feeling, and I don't know if I think, am I wrong, Tarrerdome, that you much rather have gone somewhere else with the guard with Donovan Jackson? Would you rather have done something else? I feel like you were like, but let's just do it. A guard is a need.
Yeah, I think they're gonna just kick a tackle into a guard, but Donovan Jackson, he'll do it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Don. I think Donovan Jackson as a guard is in a tier with Savannah and Booker. I think they're like in the same tier as a guard wise.
And I just don't like their philosophy of just taking tackles and making them guards, and the guy played on the right, and then they move them and play them on the left, and I'm like, what are you doing? Don't do it.
This is the thing, right? I think Donovan Jackson is a good player. I think he would be a great fit to this team. What they're looking for, big physical pile mover who has the agility to get out and get to the second level. Those are all things that they look for, right? And he has the experience. Yeah. The flip side of it is this a guy that is going to be a 100% day one need/contributor? Because right now, yes, left guard essentially, you want to add somebody to compete with Barch and Zakelj and all them. But like I said, if you had to field the team for today, the offensive line is there. There's nobody on that defensive line. So the thing is, like, when I do a draft and I start like screwing around with these things, I'll see who's available. Yeah, they might be BPA and stuff like that, but sometimes you got to curtail to BPA a need or somebody that's going to make an impact day one, especially with your top two picks, right?
Yeah.
I think right now, without the bat, their first 4 picks in this draft, they're 1, they're 2, and they're 2 3s. Have to contribute day one. They have to. Because if they don't, there's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Well, I thought making up with the Joshua Farmer pick would be like the swap because like I feel like the guard. I know what you mean. Like you have a starting lineup with Barch and all those guys. I agree with that. But
yeah.
I disagree to the sense of like the urgency at the guard because there's too many question marks. McKivitz doing his job with Pooney, right? We know they're not moving off of Brendel, so it's like that's an argument that we can all say, yeah, they need to fix that, but they're not going to do it. So let's not even have that conversation. Left tackle, obviously, got Trent Williams, but that guard position, I don't know if Ben Barch can be healthy enough because he's shown that he's got injury-prone issues. Can he be as good as he was in that one game against the Bills? We'll see. That's a question mark there. Burford, he had that one great rookie year, then he kind of fell off. Zakelj, you don't know what he is. Drake Nugent is a center. There's just too many question marks, I think, with that left guard position. I do agree, like, you could technically put that out there and they would be starters, right? Yeah. But the line would be – there would just be too many question marks, and I think there'd be a gap there at that left guard spot where I do think that you need to get that upgrade or that certain guy there at that left guard spot compared to everywhere else in the line. But D-tackle – I do know what you mean by D-tackle where it's like you want to – there is nobody at D1, D2. There's nobody there. There's no one there at all. There's not even question mark. There's one question mark.
Can you go to that pick?
So
can you go back to the 43 pick or no?
See who's all
there on the draft?
Yeah, or did you X out?
I X'd out. I'm out of that. I think I am. Hold on.
I was just wondering for shits and giggles. Who was
Princely,
there?
I'm a big Princely fan. I like Princely a lot. A lot of people don't like Princely, but I like Princely and Jared Ivey from Ole Miss. If we got either one of those guys, I'd be ecstatic.
I'm out of it. I'm out of that. I'd have to redo a whole nother draft. But
no.
What was your concern about it? I mean,
I just wanted to see. I can't remember who was there when we picked. That's all. I just wanted to just go back and just see, just for shits and giggles, to see who it was. I can't remember who was there off the top of my head. That's all.
If Kenneth Grant was there, or if if Kenneth Grant or Walter Nolan was there, that's definitely a pick that should have been taken in there at 43. Maybe even Derek Harmon as well. That's a must at the 43 position as well. Yeah.
And that's how they got him lined up here at 4-16. Walter Nolan is ranked 22 overall. Derek Harmon, who is, again, I don't like Pac-10 defensive lineman. He's at 31.
You're like a biggest hater, dude.
Yeah, they just ain't.
You're an Oregon hater, man.
They got Omar Norman Lott ranked at 66, and CJ West directly behind him at 73. Alfred Collins at 75. And Joshua Farmer is at 85. With Vernon Broughton before Joshua Farmer at 84. So
gotcha.
And
that's the thing, though, is like you would. I'm not saying like why didn't we do trade or like that. That's what I mean by like, trading back is like a lot of people hate that, but like those players in that sweet spot, if you got an extra third or if you got even an extra second from the first round going back a little bit, you can fill 2 extra positions with 2 extra starters who would probably be phenomenal on this defensive line and address all your needs. I feel like trading back from first, even that 43rd pick, even as well, doing it twice and just getting that sweet spot of that 3rd round, 4th round, back end of the 2nd round kind of type thing. I know a lot of people would hate it because you'd miss out a lot of the front tier kind of type guys, but you would get a lot of guys in that 2nd round that would be day 1 starters, huge impacts that you would absolutely love anyway. And because from what I've seen from the 11th pick all the way up to potentially early 2nd round, there's a lot of the same tier type players. So it's not like if you didn't get the guy at 11, like for example, if we moved off Mike Green and traded back, someone like James Pierce, if you like him, could have been there. Nick Scorton, Donovan Easy could have been there. And those are all like the same tier kind of type guys where trading back, yeah, you may miss out on your favorite dude, but you'll still get a dude who will dominate and play really great in that spot. I just think trading back from 11, staying in the same tier is the way to go. Just trade back twice, 1st, 2nd round, get a bunch of 3rds and 4ths, and really get like your Omar guy or Alex Collins or CJ West or, those kind of type players. You would be able to get all those guys and fill in that defensive situation, the defensive line, and be confident week 1, you will have your starting lineup. So it's just, I know
we traded back once and I thought it was back on the 17th but
yeah, we traded.
It's not on this. I usually print them and keep them on this spreadsheet, but
yeah, we traded back and got Walter Nolan at 28, I believe. I think that was the case.
Yeah,
and everyone was upset. You remember that? Like
everybody was like, "Oh, yeah." Hey Tony, we traded all the way back to like 27 from out of 11, and
we got a 2nd round pick.
The chat had a mutiny. They just,
well, let me ask you this: what did you get player wise, and what did you get in return?
We got a bunch of.
We got Makuba in it. We got Alex Collins, D tackled there. We got Walter Nolan. I forgot we got someone else in the 1st round in the 2nd round too. We got, and then we got Fenton Jr. at 100. I think that was still the case.
Yeah,
we got Makuba, Joshua Farmer. I think we got a lot of D-line players.
But boy, when you trade back out of 11, they were like.
Listen, I'm being straightforward with you. I would definitely trade out of 11. The problem is you need somebody to trade up with, right? You can talk all you want as far as we'll trade back, but you need to find a partner to trade with, because I'm going to be honest with you. Other than 1 or 2 players, maybe 3, it's a crapshoot after those guys, man. It's a legit crapshoot.
Same tier kind of type guys, yeah.
It's an. I personally, I mean, I know this is tough, but personally, I would say I would trade out of the top half to the upper bottom of, if that makes sense, of the first round.
Yeah,
so
so
right
from
around
15 down.
15 to 20, maybe.
I'm saying
no,
22
he's
down.
saying like 28, 27 like we did.
Okay.
That's what he's
I
saying.
would go down
Yeah.
because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. The players after 5, 6 players, they're all the same. So you get value. You go into the end of round 1. There might be a team if a quarterback falls that wants that 5th year guaranteed. You move back. Maybe you pick up something next year as well. Now you're loaded on day 2. You're going to be loaded on day 3 this year. It gives you full ability to move up and down the board to grab people that you want. And that's how you reassess and rebuild this roster, right? Like, what year was that when they drafted 5 starters in the first 3 rounds, Tarrerdome? I forgot the year of the draft. That was when they drafted Steve Wallace, Don Griffin, Charles Haley.
83, 84.
Yeah, Larry Roberts was the first pick, and then they just went on a freaking roll.
Yeah.
And they drafted all these guys that wound up being the core base of the franchise, of the Super Bowl team. So now, with that being said, this is the type of draft that you could do that, because I think this draft is extremely deep, and you could find a lot of good talent on day 2 in this draft. Like,
it's going to be a lot of that. Day 2 and 3 are going to be huge in this draft.
With that being said, you're going to have a lot of teams looking back to stockpile on day 2 and day 3. So that's why you're going to say, well, do we trade or do we take this person, stay at 11? I mean, I think I think if certain people fall to them at 11, you could get down probably to 15 for like the running back from Boise State, a quarterback that slipped through the cracks, the wide receiver from Arizona.
I know you used just Genty as an explanation, but Genty's going to the Bears. He falls to 110%.
You think so?
100. I would not. I would bet money on it. I would bet my entire life savings on it.
You don't think Dallas would try to get in front of him for him?
I could see that. Like they would jump in front. Like I thought you meant like if they fell to 11, but I'm saying like if like the Bears had the 10th pick, so like the Bears are going to take Genty if also a 10th. But I can see the Dallas Cowboys jumping up for Genty. Yeah, I can see that. But I bet my life savings if Genty fell to 10th.
That's going to happen with these quarterbacks. They start moving around now. You start hearing buzz. You start hearing about Milroe. You start hearing about what's the kid, Jackson Dart. And if
that Milroe one.
If they get up in that the top 10, some players are gonna slide that you didn't think were gonna be there at 11. Man, it's gonna be.
If Shedeur falls to 11, you know what would be a perfect scenario? The Pittsburgh Steelers trades with the 49ers. Pittsburgh and 49ers have constantly talked back and forth all the time about the Ayuk stuff. Even this offseason, they talked about it too as well. They have that connection.
Yeah.
If Shedeur's there at 11, they need a quarterback. They need to get the second best guy that they like. What most people say is the second best quarterback in this draft. Trade up with that guy. Boom. Give us a 2nd round pick. Make sure you get your quarterback of the future. I've seen people give up a 1st round pick just to move up 10 spots to make sure they get their quarterback. Like, right? So, I mean, Steelers is a good option, I think, for a quarterback they absolutely want there if Shedeur falls to 11. Obviously, they would have to bypass the Giants, Browns, and Saints. But if they fell to 11, man, that's an option right there for sure.
Hey, guys, I got to jump off. My job is calling me.
Okay.
All right, man. Tony, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate
it, buddy.
Take care, Tony. Good to see you, man.
Yeah. Keep in touch. We'll do this again.
All right, bro.
You're excited, man.
All right.
Man, Tony, ladies and gentlemen, give Tony a round of applause. Where's my applause at? There you go. Yeah, Tony, a round of applause. Tony has done it again.
Without doubt. I like his energy, man. He's a good guy. And also the hat. I love the hat.
And yeah, y'all I got to go get the
guy. Get stuff on his hat, man.
I got to get a head coach hat.
Yeah, Genty's going. A couple people commented. Genty's going to the Raiders, 110%. I think that's a foregone conclusion. But if they pass,
they need that.
Yeah,
Genty to the just about every mock has him going to in the top 5. I'd say 5 or 6, and usually it's right at the Raiders. Can't blame them.
I think the one thing we'll get out of here is a 3-hour show. This is a pretty good show. Per usual, right?
Per usual, 3 hours. Let's
Put
It's
in the
like
work,
a part-time job here, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Wolfie, we do our thing.
the Jalen Milroe thing, I think is absolutely crazy to me. That blows my mind. He's been invited to the first round thing. He's going to go there. And people are actually talking about how the Browns are going to trade up
You
for
heard
him.
that he got invited to the draft. They don't invite you, dude, unless
There's serious talk that you're
was
going to take
it
in the
was
first
the
round.
buzz that you're going to be in the first round, dude. It's no way they would invite you just to tear you down and just to humiliate you. Which kind of has happened. I think it happened with Geno Smith that night, and most notably Aaron Rodgers, who still went, but went a lot later than he was supposed to go. And yeah, man, they invite you. They think somebody's talking. They didn't get this just. So somebody said, let's have the drama. Let's bring a guy who's not get drafted and just let's see him get humiliated the whole night. No, nobody comes up with that.
Without doubt. That's what blows. Shador Sanders, fine, whatever. Jackson Dart, fine, whatever. But Jalen Milroe, are you freaking kidding me, dude? That's the one that blows my mind the most, dude. You are going to draft Jalen Milroe. I've seen him make the stupidest passes. I've seen him make the fluttering passes. Are they thinking, he could run the ball? He could run the ball really quick, and he's super fast.
Are
you drafting a running back or a wide receiver?
It's somebody who's good to make this pick. It happens every year. They are gonna reach for quarterbacks. People reach for quarterbacks. I'm from I'm in North Carolina, and I saw Mitchell Trubisky and Danny Jones go in the first round, the same the same draft. Yeah, they was that Mitchell Trubisky. I'm like, are you kidding? And Danny
that one blew my mind, dude. I was like, what? They traded up for him too, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Somebody sees something and they figure I can work with them. I can work with them. These are the same guys who marry strippers. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's gonna be good to me. I'm like, okay.
Apparently, according to a little off subject here, but Crazy Juice, the Nuggets fired their head coach. I don't know if you care about
the
that.
Nuggets.
Just fired the Nuggets. Yeah, that's what I thought. Isn't that Jokic's team?
With a Joker? Yeah.
Yeah, even I know that.
That's crazy.
And I just Googled it, and it's true. It happened an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
Which is weird because aren't they in the playoff? Aren't they
playoffs? Is right now? 4 more games, dude.
They gave up.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. Now them Golden State Warriors is really in contention. Them Golden State. They laughed at Draymond Green when they made the trade with for Jimmy Butler. Draymond was the only one saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win the championship." And it's like, okay, Draymond,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, Draymond. But they are in play now. They are in play.
From what I've seen of Warriors fans, again, I'm not hooked in on basketball, but I do see every now and again, like, sports TikTok, sports media. I do see these things. Everyone was hating. Even Warriors fans were like, Jimmy Butler, dude, are you serious? That's not going to do anything. What are you doing? Get Kevin Durant. Things of that nature. Yeah. And what do you know, dude? Kevin Durant, from what I've seen, has sparked no other. He's been a game changer for this team. And now, from what I remember, they were like not going to make the playoffs. It wasn't possible. Now they've won a lot of games with him. And
they beat the Lakers last week. I didn't want to bring it up, and I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad to chat. Thank you, Chet, for not bringing it up. I brought it up myself. Yeah, they in contention, man.
I was going to watch that game.
We missed a lot of shots. We did. When you play Steph Curry, people have a tendency to think, well, he's a big shooter. Let us be big shooters too, because you're going to need those threes to beat Golden State, and you're all out of your game. You never box a boxer. You never punch a puncher, and you don't try to shoot with Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah,
thing's
no.
it's clanging all over everything, man. They're shooting with it's a 24-second shot clock, and you're shooting with 20 seconds left. Dude, y'all, what are y'all doing?
Without a doubt, dude. I'm gonna keep an eye on the Warriors a little bit and hope wish them the best. I'm not gonna say they're gonna go to the championship or anything like that, but I mean they should be proud of how much they stepped up compared with Jimmy Butler, though. I mean that's something to be proud of. But even though I know basketball, and I'm not trying to insult basketball here, but like predicting who's gonna go to the championship is a lot easier compared to football, in my opinion. But like even now, the hype still isn't championship, even with Jimmy Butler and the way he's playing and stuff like that. I would love for that to happen. I would love to see that because I would watch it then. Because I watch the NBA Finals. I don't care for anything else behind that.
Okay.
NBA Finals, I'll watch. It comes down to the wire there at that point. But if the Warriors are there, I'll definitely watch it. And I was gonna watch that Lakers versus Warriors game because you are a Lakers fan. I'm like, I'm a Warriors fan by proxy. And I was like, I have a little bit of investment to this game. I have a little bit of
Well, I'm glad you missed it. You didn't miss anything.
Well, I thought about. I was like, I should have Tarrerdome see if he wants to do like a co-stream and we watch the game together and just react and stuff. And so, yeah, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing.
I check out a guy named Bad Dog Sports. He does it on the internet. I'll turn the sound down and listen to Bad Dog. Bad Dog's real cool, man. And he was like at the midway through the second, he was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. I'm gonna stop podcasting.
No.
It's like Bad Dog. Is it that bad?
You guys won that big game, didn't you? I guess I forgot what team it was where you guys jumped up and ahead of the Warriors and everybody else. There was a big game you guys won against recently, if I remember correctly.
We beat Denver about 2 weeks ago, and now we're in third in the division on the Western Conference. So
you're in control right now.
But boy, we got some humdingers coming up. OKC ain't playing around with nobody.
Best team in the league, right?
Yeah, by far. They're number one seed easily.
So right now it's a pretty tight race between like four teams. I think have the same record for that play-in spot. I think you could correct me, obviously. Yeah. And then there's that actual playoff spot which the Lakers currently have, but they can easily lose that and someone can jump them. Like it's a 5-team race for like two different playoff spots.
That's basically it. It's tightening up. Only 4 games left, and some teams have 5, but it's about 4 games left. So and now you done threw something totally in the mix with Denver, and they done fired the coach. Dude, this thing could be crazy as I don't know what.
That is interesting to just give up didn't he win with the Nuggets?
Yeah, 2 years removed, the year before last. Boston won last year, and they won the year before that, and he had the finals MVP, and probably you got to say right now the best player in basketball right now is Jokic.
Oh, the amount of people are saying like he's so freaking good. Apparently, there's like debates of him.
Oh, dude,
being one of the best centers of all time or something like that. Even better than Shaq.
He had a triple double. He had a triple double.
Sounds like a delicious burger.
Yes.
Sounds like an In-N-Out burger.
He had 30 plus points, 20 plus rebounds, and 20 plus assists.
Even I know that's damn good. Holy crap, dude.
Yes, so it's one thing to get a triple double, but he had 2 triple doubles in one game.
Dude, and his center's job isn't to necessarily shoot like that, right? That's not their main job. Yeah,
that's what makes him so dangerous. He can do anything you want him to do. He can assist. He
5 players in one kind of
It is unfair sometimes. He's really good. If you get a chance, check out Denver.
I love his attitude too. Like people make jokes all the time on social media of him laying like, I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I think he's got the accent and everything. Like he'll do like a half court shot and be like, why'd it go in? Like he's upset that it went in. It's just he's got the funniest reaction.
I have it like that. Yes. You
I don't
Americans.
care about basketball. I just want
Good
to go
Lord,
home.
dude. He's the big
It's
kid.
almost,
Like,
yeah. Well, it's good. I mean, it's probably why he's so good is because, you know, he doesn't have that pressure, right? He doesn't feel that pressure where it's just kind of like, I'm just doing my job kind of vibe. That's really what it feels like. I'm making millions, you know, that's really why I'm doing this.
yeah, he's good. And he's not caught up with all the Hollywood hype and trying to fit in or something like that. He's in Denver. After the season ends, they don't even he doesn't stick around and stuff to go to the parades or whatever. He goes back home to wherever Soviet bloc, former Soviet bloc countries. It's like whatever. I just play basketball really good.
really good basketball is what I do. Did
You have vodka. You have vodka, and I go back home.
The parade. Remember when he was like, "I don't get to go home"? What do you mean? He's like, "There's a
Yeah,
parade on Thursday. You gotta be there." He's
exactly.
like,
He's
"What?
like, season's over. Right? We go home, right? No, you gotta make the morning shows and do all of this. Oh no, I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not doing all of that. Yes, let's just go. Win and go home.
Yeah, I love his it's such a funny comedic like attitude that I really do. I like seeing that. I think it's pretty funny. But,
yeah, man, he's good. He's good.
But
so, Wolfie, another one in the books. I will be back Thursday morning. Everybody, Wolfie, when you gonna be back on? Wolfie just drops albums like like the Hit Factory. When you got another, you going live again or?
I'm probably gonna go live tomorrow, and then do you want to do this just once a week thing? Like, because you said Thursday you're gonna go live, right?
Yeah,
and then
Thursday I go early because I get off at 7 a.m. here, so I have to just jump on at 10, get my rest to go back to work that night. So
okay, so
one of those days each week. Like next week, you and I will be on at noon Thursday.
Okay. All
right. That's you and me.
All right, we can do that. That's perfect. But yeah, tomorrow I'm doing my my 6th mock draft. I want to do 7. I want to do a set all the way to a 7.0. So tomorrow I'll do my 6.0 officially. And then my last one, 7.0, probably a week before. And I'll do that. And then so tomorrow I'll probably do my mock draft, my serious one. And then like I do another funny one, like where it's like all trade ups or all trade backs or I'll do like a spin wheel where I've seen like I don't know if you're aware of a content creator called Bangle, but he's like he does a lot of mock drafts for like all 32 teams.
Oh wow, okay.
He does a spin wheel where if he spins the wheel and it forces the team to either trade up, reach, or trade back or get a steal. Like he has little fun things on the wheel.
I know that's crazy.
That'd be a fun thing to kind of just do with the 49ers. So I've been cooking up some ideas for stuff like that, do a couple mock drafts, and then of course keep up with the 49ers news and stuff. But
yeah,
tomorrow I'll definitely gonna go live for sure.
That sounds awesome.
What about you?
I will be on Thursday and just a talk about the topics that come up, the topic du jour.
30-day visits, things like that.
Yeah, more visits, more trying to really identify who the San Francisco 49ers go out. They love visits. They love going to people's pro days, and you can really start looking around and seeing, yeah, they're gonna go here, they're gonna go there. They're very, I don't want to say predictable, but they leave breadcrumbs. They leave breadcrumbs who they really want to go after. And
well, with that 11th pick, they can kind of do that though, because like there's bare room for error that someone's going to jump up ahead of them and take some player like that. So if they took like if they interview Walter Nolan, Mike Green, and all that, it's like, okay, well, you took Walter Nolan, I guess we'll just take Mike Green. You know, so it's kind of like if someone were to jump up and do that,
you're gonna know. You're really gonna know who by draft time. Yeah. Very few surprises there. The biggest surprise was when they took Trey Lance over Mac Jones. They had it all figured out. They was like, oh, it's got to be Mac Jones. Everybody, and they felt some kind of way when they said Trey Lance.
I mean, technically, Mac Jones should have been the pick, though. Like, I mean, technically, I'm not saying Mac Jones would have been the starter now and things of that nature, but he's definitely obviously better in my opinion than Trey Lance at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah, nobody saw that. Oh, he
yeah.
got picked up too. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to give him a shot with the Los Angeles Chargers. Yeah, so
$6.2 million. That's crazy, dude. He's got $6.2 million.
But he's not obviously he's not going to see the field very much with Justin Herbert there.
He's a Colin Kaepernick. I described him as a Colin Kaepernick type quarterback. Trey Lance is, in my opinion. I kind of described him as that. And some people disagree with me, like in the comments in the video I made. They were like, he's not like that. I'm like, he kind of is not. He's got a bit of a messy mechanics a little bit. He's got a rocket of an arm. He can run. You know, he's kind of like Colin Kaepernick in my eyes. And I feel like Jim Harbaugh, if literally for Trey Lance, to me is the best spot.
Is the best
is Jim Harbaugh.
This is the absolute best. Him and Greg Roman, which Greg Roman gets a lot of flack, man, but for a quarterback, a new quarterback to come in and make an offense formulated for your talent level or your skill set, Greg Roman is absolutely incredible at this. And you know, the evidence being how he just made it really, really great for Kaepernick, how he did it for who is it? Lamar. Initially, Lamar, you know, coming in, he came in and Greg Roman really made it good. Now it plateaus and it doesn't necessarily kick to the next level or levels of championship, but to get you started, this is your guy. Greg Roman can really put it together for you and make it. I think the term is palatable. Some people can teach you better than others. They are with their communication or what you have. They're good teachers of just getting you to where you can get at a time. And Greg Roman is that guy.
Without a doubt, just like it's a perfect scenario for someone like Trey Lance. I can't think of a better place for that type of quarterback to really kind of bring out the best of them. So, Bebop just found out that Harbaugh signed Trey Lance.
They signed him to the Los Angeles Chargers. Trey Lance went to the Chargers.
Real quick, I'm working on it. There's no guarantees, but I would like to have a co-host on this because I'd be way too nervous and I would mess it up. But I've been trying my best, and if it ever happens, this is just a what if, may never happen thing. I'm trying to get a 49ers legend to interview at some point in the future. I'm working on it. I'm hounding Patrick Willis on TikTok. I'm hounding every 49ers legend like Frank Gore. If I ever get someone like that, like someone to interview,
yes, sir,
like 30 minutes or whatever, I was wondering if you'd be interested in being my co-host. Just kind of like,
of course,
we could probably make that work.
Man.
I'm like, you're a legend, man. So I need a co-host. I was wondering if you would help me out if that ever came.
No problem whatsoever. I got your back.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Sweet.
All right, my peoples. I appreciate everybody coming out. All y'all in the chat, man. From Bebop Jones, the Red Jet Shell. She showed up very, very quickly. She was the first one in. I got to shout out my girl, Red Jet Shell, Papa J, Steve Supremo, all of you guys. CG Ruthless, Edward Austin, all y'all, man. Thank y'all for coming out. Ellison's in the building. All of y'all, man. We had a great time. We talked on a whole bunch of topics. Oh, special guest Tony showed up out this piece, man. Shout out for Tony. Let me get that applause going there. Shout out to Tony for stopping by and chilling with us, man. GM Tony. And remember, everybody, we walk by faith and not by sight. In Jesus' name, amen. See you again soon.